Hold wills for clients.
We do, yeah. We will do that for clients. We'll hold them. We always have the electronic copy of executed versions. We hold those records indefinitely, and we tell our clients, you can come back and get copies and things here, or we can hold your originals. We can do either one of those things. And you know, there's no one size fits all. Some people want to hold those originals close to them. Others, you know, they want us to hold them. So
I'm going to go to the phones now. By the way, 303-713-TALK, 713-255, whatever you want to talk about. I want to talk to Elizabeth. She called and we started this. Her cousin got a burger at Burger King and saw slime in the burger. And it was green. She said some green blue slime or something. And now she felt sick. It could be because she saw the slime. It could be because it made her sick. She went to the ER. She's not asking for a lot of damages or anything. She just wants her ER bills covered. And Elizabeth, I want to ask something. Are you the cousin or no, you're not the cousin. Your cousin. Is your cousin around?
She's actually on the phone, sir. And we're asking for suffering, just a little, not much, but I just want to be transparent.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Pain and suffering is a difficult thing to get automatically. Almost no one gives you pain and suffering. What they might give you is an ER bill. What they might give you is a goodwill gesture. They'll never call it pain and suffering. It's truly a lawsuit if you want pain and suffering. And I talked to our legal, I told you I would check with our legal consultants about this. And, we can bring John Fuller up if you'd like. Get a hold of him and we'll have him weigh in on this. John Fuller is basically a personal injury attorney, mostly car accidents, myaccidentlawyer.co, but he weighs in on this kind of stuff. And here's the bottom line from the people I've checked with. Unless there was some kind of permanent damage or health problem or something, the short time that you were stressed on that day, you're not going to get an attorney to take the case. You're just not. You're not going to get a personal injury attorney to take a case because you saw green or blue slime in a burger, ate it, and went to an ER. Now, you probably could get your ER bills if it was concerning enough and a reasonable person would have gone. Maybe they should cover those. And that's easily done maybe through a phone call, or you could do it through small claims court. I'm just being honest with you. I don't think you're going to get pain and suffering unless they said to you at the hospital ER, we have to keep you under observation. This is serious. And then you had serious illness after that. Did you? Or did she?
So, but definitely in alignment with the drop dead will. I think it was a drop dead burger. She didn't quite make it. She recovered. But just a little humor to this.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
She's on the line, and she's okay. But we thank you for weighing in because they did not even offer to pay the hospital bills, and we thought that was rather
Did you ever find out what that slime is?
Francis, did you ever find out?
I don't know. No, I still have it here in the freezer. And plus the fact, with having a stomach ache, and the next day I strained to try to have a BM and tore something in my rectum. And I had to go to the doctor the second time. And they examined me and said that's what.
But how much of that burger did you eat?
I ate half of it.
But we don't know what that blue slime was. Okay, it was disgusting blue slime. I mean, it was definitely slime, right?
I don't know if slime or ink. It looked more like blue ink.
I see. Listen, but you have not had any health ramifications as a result, right? I mean, straining a stool the next day. I mean, have you had any other? How long ago did this happen?
Well, I got my daughter on the line because I gave everything.
About how long ago? Was it? Just give me an idea.
About 3 weeks ago.
Oh, it was that recent. Okay. Did they ask at that Burger King to see the burger?
Pardon me?
Did they?
When my cousin went to the Burger King, the manager gave her a free meal in exchange for it, and I think expected it to disappear, the whole scenario. And so when we put together, when my cousin went back for us to get names, etc., the manager there was, although she was cooperative, she seemed a little bit taken aback that she would be back to want to register a complaint. My cousin asked the manager if she had sent the complaint to her supervisor. She said no. And so finally from that, we put a letter together. It got to the owner, and that's the stage when he transferred the matter over to Shamrock for their ownership. That's what we decided to call you.
Okay, just so you know, okay, contaminated food. I don't know how to put this because I don't want to like make light of what happened. It's disgusting. I'd be upset too. But contaminated food is not high on the list of personal injury because it usually doesn't do harm, real harm. It does fright. It scares people or it's shock value, but then it's over. Really, even people who have found rodents in food, they're usually paid more of a gratuity to just go away and be happy, but the actual damage is not quantifiable. I mean, if you look up any cases in common law on food contamination, they are few and far between where people have been compensated more than just something, a gratis. I don't know, it's gratis is not a good word for it, but a goodwill gesture, let's say. I'm shocked they did not offer at least that. And how much did you spend total on that emergency room or follow-up total?
Well,
Francis, is it fair to say about $400 or less?
And I think they are fools not to just pay that and be done with it. And it's hard for me to believe they would be so short-sighted. But you can
Well, the reason why they was short-sighted is because they said it didn't add up, the dates and stuff. I'm 70, going on 78 years old. I have a hearing loss, and I didn't think it was right for him to come with us, and tell us that it's not adding up.
Well, what do you mean by that? It's not adding up. That part I don't understand. That's an insult, meaning that he's thinking you're making it up.
No, what he was basically saying is that from the time that the incident happened, there was a couple of days between her going to the emergency, and we covered that in the letter.
Wait a minute. Why did you wait a couple days to go to the emergency room?
Well, because of the weather, for one.
Were you eating it at the Burger King when you saw the slime?
No, I didn't see the slime before I ate it.
Were you in the Burger King when you ate it, Francis? Or did you eat it? Were you in the Burger King when you ate it? Or
no, I wasn't.
Okay.
Did you take it home and eat it?
Did you call them right away?
I called them the next day. I called right away, but the manager
And how
wasn't
long
there.
after did you go to the emergency room?
Well, after my stomach started cramping.
When?
And I tried to have a BM, and just looked like everything was just
How long? How long did you wait? 2
Was
days?
it a couple of days later, 2 or 3 days?
It was a
Francis?
day later.
Okay. Again, this is a toss-up, Francis, whether you'll get anything. I would like to have one of our people, hey, Doc, you have a follow-up, by the way, we're going to get to. Do you want to call over to that Burger King and ask them why they didn't even make a courtesy gesture to pay for that emergency room? Hold on, let's give this to Deputy Doc just to make a phone call for you. I just don't think there's much we can do beyond that. 303-713-8255. It's just the way they go. Waterpros.net if you want wonderful drinking water at the kitchen sink for around $1,000 fully installed. You will never find a better system. 303-862-5554. Triple filter reverse osmosis. Waterpros.net.
Awesome. Do roller coasters stop? we're having a hard time finding what's his name for this live again.
Derail
Listen,
your retirement. Hi,
wanna
I'm
just
Linda
take
Gardner,
some
host of
spots
Your
from-
Money, Your
I don't wanna
Retirement,
just
Saturday
fill all
on
that
6:30
because it's
KHOW.
going to
If you're
jam us
concerned
up
about
later.
the markets,
But do you wanna just
today,
put some
to
spots in
schedule a
there?
complimentary
I can do it.
portfolio.
We
So
need-
just do Euro right now, and I'll fix the rest, okay?
Yeah, we need 430s or
Oh,
a
my,
minute
okay.
or whatever.
8604 or
Okay, here you go, Euro.
yourretirement.com.
The best prices ever on water heaters, and I'm not kidding. Do you know you can get a 40-gallon tank fully installed with the old one taken out and hauled away, new supply lines for the water and flex line for the gas for just what? $1,399. You know what? That's $1,399. You don't find that anywhere. Try. $14.99 for a 50-gallon, no matter what size you want. No one beats Euro Plumbing for price. They'll even save you on plumbing repairs. They're your bargain plumber and great people. 303-668-6844. 303-668-6844. EuroPlumbingColorado.net.
Guys, thank you.
What are we going to do, bro?
I don't know. Hold on. I'm still trying to get him.
Or just give me some spots to fill. I'll do it. And then when those spots come, I don't know.
You're doing great. Thanks, man. I got it.
Listen, if you're just going to fill with bullshit that people didn't pay, I'm going to do some in-house. You want to just send it back to me? I'll do an in-house or two.
You seem kind of tense.
No,
Don't worry
not at
about
all. You tell me.
you. No, you're good.
Can I do that?
No, thank you. I appreciate the offer, though.
So how are we going to make up the time? I'm just curious.
Okay. Oh, happy to tell you. So moving spots from the 45.
Okay, good,
And
thanks.
if we find
got
Captain
it.
Douche Nozzle, we'll stick him in there.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
I was just curious more than you.
Oh, same here.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
She's got nothing.
Don't these people know?
Got a heart full of soul.
Hold on.
What?
I texted him. He texted me back at 9:30, so I don't understand what the complication is.
Right?
God, this week sucks.
Well, I mean, it's not like trying to enjoy a music festival in Israel and then suddenly here comes a paraglider. But no, yeah, you're right. It sucks. We'll be there on your butthole. The whole thing's a moving target. You never know.
Do we have an opening on?
45.
Okay.
Oh, God.
$45. 45.
Yes, please. Thank you for your hard work on that.
Yeah, great.
No, what are you going to do? You can't. I was going to say you can't pull a feller out of your butt, but I don't know what you do. Yep.
Over this week.
I know.
Are you going to watch the Super Bowl? When is it?
Not with a gun up my ass. All right, sir. Stand by. Here we go.
Talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Brent Keel is with us from Keel and Park, and February 8th we'll be doing the retirement summit, and it's where we're going to be talking about every part of retirement, and one of those parts should be estate planning. We were talking about organizing. Have you actually come up with a PDF or something that can help people organize? If not, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, we do. In the documents that we give people, there is an idea of things that they should have together. Like there's a document that says, to put these types of things together with your plan, so you have them there. There's also services. I mean, and we offer these to clients.
I do not trust services.
Well, and that's the thing. We offer it because some people love that. They want to be able to log in and go get it from.
Well,
wherever
yeah,
they're
I mean
at.
like a drive, a Google Drive, but I wouldn't want a service where they can have access to it.
Yeah, and that, like I said, some people love it. It's not something. If somebody's worried about it and they're going, okay, we want to do this. What if we're traveling and something happens? We tell them about it. But we want them to have electronic copy, hard copy. The safe offer to keep it in our office as well. So.
Anyway, we're going to have Deputy Doc call on that Burger King thing. That's the most we can do. Arthur has a banking issue he wants to talk about. And then we'll have some open lines. If you want to get through, you can talk about anything you want, including estate planning of any kind. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Of course, you can also call 303-MARTINO. Hey, what's going on, Arthur?
Well, I got a problem with the bank. I asked them to make a wire, and it was to Asia. And can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine, Arthur.
All right. I think
So
it's
you
my
tried to
phone
get a
talking.
wire. Did they fail to do the
Well,
wire?
Well, they sent the wire through. Everything was fine. And it was an investment website.
Now, hold on a second.
And-
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
This was through your regular bank, right?
A regular bank.
Okay. And this website that you were sending it to, or this place, was in India?
No, it was in. It was in Asia. It was a combination
Asia,
of
I'm
different
sorry.
places
Okay.
because it's a multinational company. It was really Chinese based, and I sent some funds to another country next to China.
Now, okay, keep going then. I'm just very curious about
All right,
this.
So then I had some success in buying some of these futures. It was gold futures. And then
You
I wanted to
understand
put
that,
more
just
money
so
in.
you know, there are a lot of ripoffs right now going on with gold futures, right?
Oh, I know. I understand.
And
I was,
are you a sophisticated?
I knew it was-
Are you a
I knew it was-
sophisticated? Are you a sophisticated investor?
Somewhat. I have a degree in finance. I worked in Wall Street. I
How much
managed-
did you
managed
wire?
Finance. Well, it was only $4,000,
Oh, okay, got it. So keep going.
and so that was just a test to see if they're going to be honest. And then I made some purchases, and my account balance went up by $1,700. I said, "Wow, this is good. I think I'll put more in."
Now your
So I wanted
balance
to
went
put
up
some
for
more
what
in.
reason? For what because of
Oh, they were successful trades.
so you bought and sold through this account.
Well, there are options, so you just buy one, and
Okay.
if it's either successful and you make something, or it's unsuccessful and you don't make anything.
Okay, so you were doing options, not actual the commodity itself, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I had a person guiding me on doing this, and it's kind of sketchy because she found my name on LinkedIn, and I thought it was about a job or some kind of work as a consultant.
Yeah, it's a scam,
And
by
then
the way.
she
But keep
started
going. I'm
talking about
almost
this stuff.
positive. I'm positive it's a scam, actually. But go ahead. What happened then?
Well, everybody's positive, but the problem what I'm having is I asked them to send me the money back, and they did. They sent me
What?
they sent me the money back. It made it into my
Now, wait a
account
minute.
on Monday
I want to know
morning.
this. I like to talk gross dollars. What were gross dollars to that account? And then after all your trades, the gross dollars back. How much did you win or lose?
Oh, I made $1,720.
So you sent
So it went from
4,000
$4,000 to $5,720.
Okay, got it. Okay, so then what happened?
they-
So the $5,720 went back to your account?
Yeah, that was in my account.
Okay.
I asked him for a withdrawal, and the person who told me about this this opportunity or scam, whatever it is, was guiding me. And I said, I want to take my money out. And she says, well, you better take it out in even numbers, like ask for 5,000, and they'll do that. If you ask for other dollar figures that aren't in thousands, they don't do it. So I asked for 5,000, and the next Monday morning, they sent me the 5,000 minus the 3% commission that I knew they were going to take.
Yeah.
So it was $4,850, $4,850.
Yeah.
So my bank seemed super prejudiced. Everybody's profiling Chinese these days for scams. So they said, no, it's a scam. Don't ever talk to them again. I said, I got to talk to them again. I still trust them. They haven't. I have a degree in finance.
Well, I would be
act in
happy
good
though
faith.
at this point. You sent a wire for $4,000 and $4,000 was your total in, and you got $4,850 back. So no matter what, they can't deny that you got $850 more. Did they refuse to deposit that, or did they credit your account with that?
They've credited my account, but they won't let me take it out. And now they're sending a letter back to, or an email letter back to the bank that originated the transfer from China, and they're saying, do you really, I don't know the exact wording, but the gist of it is, did you really mean to give us this money? So because they were so skeptical, or I was so
that's
skeptical,
stupid because, I mean, what made them think the money wasn't real?
because they don't want to believe me that it's okay. They're fucking nuts, excuse me.
Okay, put Nixon Pro. Did you get that, Shannon, please?
Yes.
All right. He's an angry man. We'll have to wait for our delay on that. Arlene has a question for Keelan Park, for Brent Keel. Go ahead, Arlene. What's your question?
My husband is 81. I'm going to be 79, and I can't get him to do a will and trust. He listens to your show all the time, and this is really bothering me that we don't have a will and we don't have trust.
Do you have how much is your estate worth, Arlene?
Over $1 million, because we have a few rental properties.
Okay.
And
so listen, one thing that's very simple you can do, let me spell my name. It's Thomas Martino. That's my legal name. And then you can I'll give you my address. You just leave it to me. I'll take care of it. I'm just kidding. Okay. That's
Really?
a little humor, Arlene.
No.
Listen, Arlene,
No,
listen,
but,
seriously.
yeah.
They can help you, by the way, remotely. You hold on and we'll come right back to you. Okay. And then we'll get Arthur simmered down and figure out how to get his money. All of that coming up.
Thank you.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House studio.
I told Arthur that I had to dump him because he wouldn't stop clearing his freaking throat.
No, did you tell him, though, he can't swear?
No, then he said, well, it must be my cat. And
Did
I
he
said,
hang
well,
up?
What were you doing to the cat? No, he's still there.
Okay.
He's on the north end of town.
But, you know, since we're now catering to people who are 12 years past dead, everybody...
That's not nice, Shannon.
To I-25.
No offense.
Flowing free to and from the DIA area. West of I-25, I-70 westbound, some stop-and-go traffic.
I mean, listen, I'm 58, and I'm starting to feel the phlegm coming.
Nothing too out of the ordinary there, but we'll keep you updated. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies. Another warm one, high 63.
I have one
Overnight
thing to
low
say
of
for
32. Tomorrow,
Jack Daniels
62.
honey.
The current temperature in Denver is 49 degrees.
Well, I'd like some Jack Daniels, but you don't have to call me honey.
Need right away at Lowe's.
Here you go, Simply Art.
You trust in store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
I love these two sponsors that have been with me for years and years. In fact, I brought them to the station. Simply Floors Inc. Buddy and Karen Mitchell have been doing floors for so long. Now they have 2 locations at 470 and Quebec. That's a showroom. And over at 52nd and Ward. Now, here's the great part, though. If you go to their website, I'll give you the website. You can make an appointment, and they'll take whatever you're interested to you to look at, whether it be carpeting, luxury vinyl planking, hardwoods, engineered floors, or a little bit of everything just to see what you want. They have great consultants, the best in-house installers, warranties, and service, and pricing. No job too small. Simply Floors Inc. That's INC. SimplyFloorsInc.com. The same can be said for the Art of Granite. Now, they're not going to come to you, but what they will do is give you a price on the phone right now for countertops. Now, the name says the Art of Granite. They do all kinds of countertops, natural stone or man-made materials. And here's the deal. They'll give you prices on the phone. You give them an idea what you want. Give them a call. Mitch Floria, theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919.
Love you.
Okay.
Oh, gosh darn it. Now we got Mark.
Hello.
It wasn't bad enough.
Mark.
Now we got Mark.
I didn't realize you were there.
Holy shit. Listen, I was there. Well, I told Shannon, don't put me up. So, you know how, well, you dealt with this. They moved all the accounts from Ameritrade over to Schwab.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of Suzanne's I was trying to get the password for, so we authenticated over the phone, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, you know how they want the dual verification in a text your phone?
Yes.
So you get to choose what phone number. Generally, it would either be mine or hers. On this particular account, it had 8 phone numbers, 4 of which I never heard of, and I'm going, holy shit, how did all these phone numbers get there? Well, years ago, Ameritrade bought Scottrade, and I started day trading with Scottrade like 15, 20 years ago. So over the last 20 years, between Scottrade, Ameritrade, and now Schwab, we have had different phone numbers. Everyone was valid, but I was convinced someone hacked into that fucking account.
I was hoping it was West Africans, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was like 303-400-4000. What the fuck? And then I was like, oh shit, that was my phone number for my computer business.
That was the store on Parker, really?
Yeah, 303-400-4000.
That's pretty good.
So if you dial it right now, it's Mountain Peak Computers, same exact company.
Wow.
You know what's funny?
So somebody took over and kept that name?
Oh, God, yeah. I sold the name really for almost $200,000. I sold 3,000 worth of inventory.
But Mark, what will they do though? What do computer places like that do nowadays?
I don't know what he does, but the one thing he does do that pisses me off is he claims, here it is, Mountain Peak Computers. I'm going to his website. So if I go about, it's my logo. It's everything, Tom. If you go to mountainpeakcomputers.com, it's literally my logo, my phone number, everything.
I wonder if they have an internet cafe.
No, God, if they did, yeah, that's right. He goes out and fixes computers. I mean, really, that's what he does. But what kills me, I don't even know how to get to it on here.
Any idea what the owner's first name is?
Oh, there it is. Sorry. What's
so
that?
Look what he put.
No, I
look
got
what
it.
this asshole put. He said, blah, blah, blah. He
look
says,
at that. I see it. Mountain Peak Computers.
Yeah, it's one of the
Same
only
number.
companies I sold. Same number, same everything.
Now,
he's
is
mobile only.
Is this the guy that took over?
No, I don't know who this guy is, man. But once again, what pisses me off is whoever owns it says he started Mountain Computers in 1990.
Founded
and I'm
by
like, you lying
Tom.
piece of shit.
Hey, he's a Navy veteran.
Yeah, you're reading it. Where do you see it? Under
Tom
company or what?
Valdez, who we are.
Yeah,
Tom and
Do you
Kelly?
see where he says he started it?
No, he didn't. He said it was built on the principle to provide. He didn't say he built it.
Where do you guys see that? Where you?
Founded by, I see it, founded by so-and-so with over 40 years. Well,
Yeah.
okay, he's talking about his business, I
I mean,
think.
that's right up there with Mr. Dino's bathtub supply. Remember that?
What about him?
Mr. Dino.
Family-owned company for 60 years. Well, yeah, your dad sold ties, and now you're doing tub enclosures. You can't, you're
didn't know
lying
that.
about what they did for 60 years. Oh, well.
That always kind of irritated
Hey,
me.
whatever
yeah.
happened to him? I liked Pete.
I liked him a lot, too. Hey, sorry, here we go, guys. Here we go.
Mr. Dino.
Your podcast.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. ProBid Energy for your energy needs. They do full, complete solar systems, 21 grand fully installed, and that's with battery backup. With all of your credits, you net to you is 21 grand. It's a great price, and they can even finance that. ProBidEnergy.com. Okay, so let's keep going on the phones here. And so where did I leave off? Okay, we have Marlene from yesterday. We have Arthur with his banking issue. And I'll go back to Arthur. We have Arlene with Keel. First, Arlene. We'll finish up with Arlene. She has basically about $1 million estate or so. And her husband, and that they're a little infirmed. They can't get out to do their will. Can't you do that by phone and remotely? Now, by the way, Arlene, have you ever done a Zoom call?
Yes, I have. I don't know exactly how to do it, but I think I could do it again.
But you can even do a regular
if
phone
someone-
call. You can do. Listen,
if
Keel
someone
and Park,
sent her
you
a
can trust
link-
these gents, and they'll do stuff by phone if you want.
It out. I mean, I drive and everything.
Have
So
you
I can
ever
still get
done signing on the internet like a DocuSign?
So
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think. Can
finish,
you do
finish.
that with a will?
yeah, with the will, we don't do that. We want to be there in person with witnesses.
But
There's
will
some
you go to
reasons for that.
them?
Yes, we've done that before. And there's
Yes,
situations.
I can do that. The thing is, I can't get my husband to do it.
Well,
he
listen.
just-
I would say kick him in the
putting it
ass,
off.
but you don't have to. They'll come to you. Seriously, they will.
He might want to leave everything to somebody else.
You can do all of
No.
you can do a lot of the work on the phone and through email. Do you get email, Arlene?
Yes, I do. What we really want to do is leave everything to the grandchildren.
Oh, I get it. But whatever you can, they'll talk to you free of charge on the phone and go over what you need. Then they'll come up with a plan with a flat rate. And then you can do most stuff by phone and email. And for the signatures and to go over everything, they'll meet with you. They'll come to you. Now, your husband
Okay,
can't
well, that
have an
would be
objection
great.
to having them come to you, right?
No, I mean, he just keeps putting it off and putting it off. He says,
Yeah.
no.
Well, you
I
know
mean,
what?
we're getting older, and we really have to do something.
I
We
know.
don't want it to go to probate,
I know.
and and we want to set up trusts for the grandchildren at certain ages. That they get so much when they're 18, so much when they're 21.
What is your estate?
That's-
What does your estate consist of? You have real estate? Do you have cash?
Yes.
Do you have
I
stocks?
have, mainly, yes. We have some Charles Schwab stuff, and then we have 2 rental properties, and then our own house, and we have a car. We have.
Who takes care of the rentals?
I do.
Wow. Listen,
Yeah, you just got to set up a trust.
Arlene,
Right,
would you
exactly.
want one of them to call you later?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, hold on. And Kachina will get your information, and maybe Brent will give you a call and just start the conversation. At least that gets you off of dead center. That's a good idea, Arlene. Now, let's
go to that Michelle.
Okay, Michelle. Why is that, Mark?
Well, Conn's Furniture, to me, is one of the strangest places ever, and it always seems to be the same issue, some form of warranty issue. And I'm
okay, let's
curious.
talk. Okay, Michelle, what's going on with you?
So I recently purchased the furniture set on the 9th of January. They dropped it off to my house. I got the whole set.
What kind of set? Is it living
recliners.
room?
It's a living room set.
Okay.
And they're all recliners and powered. They're all powered. Most of the whole set is. When they dropped them off, they was missing a power cord in the love seat. And the delivery people said just to go to Cons and they have another cord over there. So I was like, I didn't think they would, but I was like, okay. I went over there. And then I also noticed after they left that in the larger couch, the left arm on the large sofa, it had like a gap between it. Like it's broken or something like that. So I go to Cons, I tell them about the issue, I took pictures. They said okay, they were going to get it figured out. And then after that weekend, it was I think like Sunday, the little recliner I got had the motor it started making like a squeaking noise, like it breaking or whatever. It sounded like it was going out.
Wait a minute. So you have a power cord problem, a gap in the left arm of the couch, and now a motor is sticking?
Yes.
Wow.
So they bring some delivery people to drop off the cord after I went to Cons. So I live in Pueblo there in the spring. So I go there Thursday. Then a delivery person ended up coming, I think it was like the following week. They got the cord and then they looked at the large sofa and said, yes, it's broken, that arm is broken, and then the motor sounds like it's going out in the little one. They said yes. So I went to Cons and told them what the delivery people said, and they said they were going to put it in their notes. I go there, they say they don't have nothing saying anything about like that, and that I have to file a claim and go through this process. Okay, so I did all of that. I went through the claim. I had a technician was supposed to come out here to go look at it to see if it was going to be able to get fixed. Well, it was supposed to be last Friday. Well, a lady calls me Thursday and says that they don't have anybody that services my area, and if I would be able to do a FaceTime with one of these technicians. Okay, that same day on Thursday. So I was like, yeah, sure, it'd be faster and work to get it done. I showed him the problem, sent him the videos, and all of that. He said he's going to put it in the notes. I said, so I was like, at this point, I'm so frustrated because nobody's giving me no answers. It's like a runaround between like all these people.
Right.
So he said that lady told me once I did that appointment that I'd be able to be she would be the one that would be able to let me know if I can exchange it or what will happen, fix it. At this point, I wanted to just exchange it at this point because I didn't realize there was going to be so much problems. Then now I'm so upset that I just don't even want the furniture no more.
Now,
So,
hold on. How long has the furniture been in your home?
For since the 9th, January 9th.
Okay, that's not
You
terrible.
know, this sucks. It's not, but they sell her furniture that doesn't work, and then they turn it into a complete hassle to get it fixed. You know, if this was American furniture, they would have called up, said, I got a problem. They send a guy out. The guy fixes it that week. These people at Cons, this is a typical Con story. They deliver it and forget about you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much what's going on. So somebody calls me today for a payment to get set up my payments for $300 when it was just only supposed to be 100. I think it was like 159, 160 something. So I tell him I'm not paying nothing until you guys resolve my problem.
God, don't do that. Don't
I'm not
do
paying
that.
$5,000. I'm not paying $5,000 for furniture.
But Mark, wait a minute. To get their attention, it wouldn't be a bad idea, right?
No, it's a horrible idea. They go from it depends on your credit rating, but they go all the way down to basically a buy here, pay here. They will report no matter what and get her credit so bad. I already know your credit was bad because you were shopping at Cons. If you don't pay Cons, it's going to get worse.
Hey, hold on a second. We'll come right back to you. Let's come up with a solution. And then I haven't forgotten about Arthur and that banking issue. We need to do something about that. This is a crazy situation where money was wired to him and they just assume it's bad because it came from China. And that's weird.
That's probably a good assumption.
But Mark, there must be a way to verify funds. There must be a way. We got more coming up. I'm Tom Martino.
All right.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. If the money's sitting in the account, it's been in the account for a long time.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Good news on the north end of town, I-25 southbound after Thornton Parkway. Crash has been cleared. We're still seeing some slowdowns. Heading south for folks heading into the downtown area, 6th Avenue eastbound. Watch out for a crash on the off-ramp to I-25. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area. West of I-25, I-70 westbound, some stop-and-go traffic between Pecos and Wadsworth. Nothing too out of the ordinary there, but we'll keep you updated. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies, another warm one, high 63. Overnight low of 32. Tomorrow sunny again with a high of 62. The current temperature in Denver is 49 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. This week we'll have the story of how a losing college football team, Ole Miss, brought a family together. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
You hear me talk about Genesis Total Exteriors a lot. I talk about storm damage and getting storm damage fixed from the roof all the way down to the decks, painting, windows, doors, siding, and they do stucco. And speaking of stucco, Mark, you're somewhat of a stucco expert. I love the fact that you do real hard stucco, which is almost maintenance-free on a home. What I'd like to know, can people, if they have storm damage or doing improvements, can they upgrade from normal siding? Is that a big deal?
No, it's not. In fact, most of the time, as long as it's not vinyl siding, we leave the siding outside your house, which increases the R value. And the appearance of stucco is so much better looking than siding. You know, it just really increases the value of the home. It just sets you apart from other houses. And then we can also combine stone with that, too. You can have stone in the lower half of your house and stucco above and just make your house look amazing.
So you can go over regular siding and do stucco without tearing it all off?
You bet. You bet. And that saves, on waste and even the labor of taking that off. Saves you a lot of money. And, again, it increases the R value of your home, too, because you have an extra layer of, wood insulation.
So if you have storm damage, help me out here. If you have storm damage on regular siding, not vinyl, but regular siding, and you wanted to go to stucco because you're not tearing it off and you're going to stucco, is there much of a price differential?
It's amazing how reasonable and how affordable stucco is. Most people think, oh, my God, that's going to be way out of my price point. You would be surprised. When everybody else's wood prices went up and going crazy, cement stayed pretty stable, and it still has stayed very stable. So it is a great option at not a very small price increase.
All right, and that's GenesisTotalExteriors.com for anything exterior on your home, and that's Mark at Genesis. I've known him for 25 years. 303-679-8509, 679-8509. Hey, we love the people at Made in the Shade. After you get that house done, you may want to do some window coverings. A lot of people like to upgrade window coverings, give a fresh look, or you're just moving into a place. Here's the deal. Made in the Shade does it all. They'll come out and measure, and then their design consultant picks the right stuff for the right areas, and then you get a price. If you like it, they order it, they take delivery, and then their in-house installers put the stuff up, and they guarantee everything. It's too much of a job to do yourself. You can save time, money, and hassle using Made in the Shade. DenverShades.co. That's DenverShades.co.
Thank you. And here's what's his name. And golly, just a minute and a half here.
What?
We were talking about the good old days.
Was it a
when
minute and a half?
You'd get free stuff.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs, KRDO does a ton of trade, man. She handed me a bunch of just gift cards to give out a couple
Remember
years ago.
trade? They don't do as much trade as they used to.
Zero
Not
trade.
even close.
Yeah.
Shannon had a black card at the fucking hamburger stand, man. He could go
Or
buy
I could
whatever
go,
he
and I
wanted.
used to get like 30 chili dogs at a time. It was insane. Give me anything I want.
Yeah. And if you think about it, how much do they have in 30 hot dogs? Fucking nothing.
Right. Yeah, getting $17 out of them.
And they're getting $100 commercials or, whatever, endorsement, whatever it is back then.
Oh, yeah, we were taking good care of them.
They're Wiener Schnitzel.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Fraulein here knows her way around a good Wiener Schnitzel. Right, Kelly?
Oh.
Huh? What?
Hey, Ken, are you there?
Hey, are
Doc?
you done with Arthur?
Doc?
Hey, Doc, hit the talk button.
Oh, don't you dare.
Wait, Tom, are you done with Arthur?
No, let's see.
we got to go back to him.
No, we got to
Okay.
go back.
Yeah. Okay, don't erase that.
Did he erase Arthur?
I
did.
didn't.
Yes, you did.
Somebody did. Is Ken doing that? Ken must be in there erasing stuff. Quit giving Doc editing power.
What are we going to do with Michelle?
I got an idea.
Tell me what happened.
She's the one with the furniture.
Oh, man, you got to call. We just got to put someone on it. They will come out and fix it. She has 0 chance of a refund. In fact, American Furniture wouldn't give her a refund. That's a whole different thing.
Here
These
we go.
people.
KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
All right, Michelle, we're going to put somebody on this because we need somebody to call them and, as we say, light a fire. And I would.
But I got to say this, Michelle, there is no way in hell, and listen to what I'm saying, you're going to get a refund. So you got to wipe that
Let's
out of
give
your
it to
brain,
Deputy
and we'll get it
Chopper.
fixed.
Chopper's online. Let's give it to Deputy Chopper. I think that we need to get this thing handled. Call them and say, listen, take care of this woman. You're not going to get a refund. Let's go back to Arthur. Arthur, this is seriously, this is so frustrating, and I share your frustration, but is there a way that they could verify the funds? How long were they in your account?
They've been in there since Monday.
I
The
would
problem
say
is
that
they
they're
seem to be-
afraid that these funds have not yet cleared. I don't know how long it takes.
Oh, I think that's true, but I think they don't do this for normal things. Just because they profile it and they think it's sketchy, they're just abusing me in the process because I didn't agree with them. I said I can call these people and get the money back, and then I got it back. It came into the account, so normally they'd probably release it by now. But
well, no, they wouldn't.
instead,
No,
they're sending-
I don't know if
they're
they
sending
would
a letter.
release. I don't know if any bank would release a foreign wire in 2 days.
Oh, well, maybe I just don't have any experience at that. I don't know.
No,
much
a
about
wire typically
international
is
wires.
just instant.
Mark, but I don't know about
They were
foreign
so
wires.
hostile.
I don't know.
The person in the fraud department acts like she's paranoid and hates everybody in Asia or something because she wanted me to not talk to anybody. I said, well, I'm going to talk to them and ask them for my money back, and she didn't even want me to do that. So she got pissed off with me because I wanted to trust these people enough to ask them for the money back, and they gave it back. And now she's probably trying to prove that she was right. And but I think that sending a letter to these people, asking them, did you really mean to send this wire?
No, I know.
Straight to
It's
me.
what we call a triggering event where they can decide to claw it back and say, well, the hell with them. Hold on a second. We got to figure out how to handle this.
Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Aloha.
Mark,
Yes.
Mark, I'm reading here where it is not necessarily instant when it's an international wire.
No, not only that, I was reading
Good
too.
morning.
It
Thanks so
depends
much for
on the
calling
amount
the
and
Tom
whether
Martino
or not the IRS likes it.
It says here that there are
Oh,
special
Seth, hi.
policies
Yes.
regarding China.
I had you on my
I
schedule
bet there
for
is, and there
tomorrow.
should be, quite frankly.
Okay, so we should talk about it. He thinks he's being singled out. I
that's
don't
okay.
think he is.
Nope.
Well,
got
he
an open
might have
line.
pissed someone off, you know.
So what's going on?
You know, it took me a long time to learn, Tom. If you wait till everything's done, then you bitch. If you're trying to get something done and you bitch, you really want to just wait, get it done, then bitch. I don't care if it's food. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, but what do you mean, though? She needs us to get it done, though.
Yeah, but he's saying it's going to take a couple days. Big deal.
Oh, you mean the bank. You're right. I thought you were talking about the furniture.
No, the furniture thing, there's nothing. I mean, you have to bitch. Con sucks.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm going to get coffee.
They're one step up from Rent-A-Center, man.
Do you want anything?
That is pretty rough.
Is there even Rent-A-Centers anymore, Shannon? I just haven't seen one.
I wonder, man, they used to be a big sponsor of one of my favorite NASCAR drivers. I'm going to cross that finish line. I'm going to cross that finish line, go get me a tired dining room set.
For $8 a week.
Woo-wee.
My first guy I shared an apartment with, man, we moved in and his birthday came. You know what his dad got him? His dad went up to Rent-A-Center and got him a stereo, but he had to pay the fucking $10 a week. So his dad virtually got him nothing. I couldn't believe it. I never heard of anything like it.
That's unbelievable. Oh, my God, that's awful.
Yeah, because usually you got to put $20 down, and then it's $10 a week. So his dad put the $20 down, got him the stereo, and he ended up paying $800 for that thing. I bet.
Now Kelly's trying to get on board with Rent-A-Center, asking my phone if they're still open. Yeah, it's showing one here. Rent-A-Center Denver, furniture rental, appliances, living room sets, you bet.
Why would you rent?
Yeah, could you imagine being the collection guy for them?
Because you have nothing. You have nothing.
Nothing. Yeah,
well,
actually,
it's just for people who have nothing.
Well, or they have absolutely zero credit. Yeah, you're not kidding. And
Kelly's
right now,
got what all do you have in the basement? Do you have
off.
shuffleboard? Kelly's got shuffleboard and a pool table, and what else?
Well, yeah, dart.
A dartboard, yeah, sure, nice one. So she finds it hard to relate to people who would have to rent a dinette.
Let's see here. I'm going to see how much the TV stand is. $14 a week, baby. Now, here's what I'm going to...
I don't understand the concept of renting furniture.
Well, people can't afford to buy it, so they rent it. It's like buying a car and having a car payment. It's a little step down from there.
Well, again, why wouldn't you just buy the car?
Thank you, Oprah. Thank you. Why don't you just go to the airport and get on your plane and leave the flood? Yeah, good point. Good call. Remember when she did that?
Oh, God, they all did that. All of them all the celebrities put their foot in their mouth constantly. We don't believe in guns. They have 15 bodyguards with machine guns.
Well, when the fire breaks out on Maui, why can't you just get to your yacht? What's wrong?
Well, doesn't your helicopter, can it still take off?
It's not like the flames are keeping you from... Oh, my God.
All right, this guy thinks I'm in a hammock.
Banana?
Yeah. I'll prove to him I'm not in a hammock, maybe. Let's see. Maybe not.
God damn. I guess I'm just, out of it.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time, huh?
Remember when the first George Bush was shocked by the scanner at a grocery store? That's kind of what Kelly's going on. What's the beep in here?
What was it?
It's not quite like that. But I've never heard of anybody renting furniture.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'll just put that up there. All right.
Did you know that Leland's going to be at a brewery Friday for his show? Has he told you about that?
Oh, yeah. So Ryan is an idiot and thinks I'm going to drive the Sklar brothers, comedians, to the brewery. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea.
What's that?
Considering I can't fucking drive,
Yeah.
and see.
That Leland's going to be live from a brewery nearby on Friday.
What brewery?
Who is?
A Bit Twisted Leland.
Twisted Barbecue.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, A Bit Twisted or something like that.
Yeah,
It's called,
Twisted Brew.
Yep, something like
Twisted
that.
Brew and Q.
Something like that. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Oh my God, it's amazing. And they want me to drive the Sklar brothers. Like, I'm not driving anybody. I barely got Jamie Lissow out of Landmark. I had to use GPS.
A lot of people do that, Kel, and some people have to rent furniture to go sit on afterwards.
Well, I've never heard of renting furniture. Shut up.
Listen to this. I had no less than 50 emails that all said Tom knows nothing about Lady Swift or whatever. Lady Swift, you like that? Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga. Totally wrong.
Huh.
Just fuck you. Hey, you know what? I saw a documentary on Netflix about the making of We Are the World. That song.
Oh, I saw it. I didn't see the thing yet.
It's really good. I mean, it's a little long, and God almighty did these people all get old. But man, that was one big, giant undertaking.
I love Waylon Jennings walking out.
You know what, though? He ended up on it, though.
Here we go.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe, where we are rocking and rolling for you, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. So, 1984, right? We Are the World. It was a song, and there's a Netflix documentary about making that song. They had to first of all, they limited. I said, why isn't McCartney on there or some others? It was only American artists. They wanted to do something America for Africa, for hunger. And they had to do it on the night of the AMA, the American Music Awards, because that was the only time they could get everyone together. They had to keep it a secret. And right after the American Music Awards, which was hosted by Lionel Richie, and then Lionel Richie was the one spearheading this thing with Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie wrote the song. I never knew that. And then they had to get all these stars over to A&M Records to do it. Now, here's the weird thing. I mean, they kept it a secret. Finally, people started catching on, but they had to get like 48 stars together, music stars at that time, to do this song. The Netflix special is pretty cool. It's a hair long, but it's cool. Anyway, somebody made a joke. It was really funny. And I don't know who it was. I forget now who it was. Said, if a bomb went off in this building or hit this building, John Denver would be back on top. John Denver was dead at that time, wasn't he? I mean, I'm not sure, but anyway. So here's the deal. The reason I'm bringing this up, there's a TikTok video of a teacher. She looked like she was in her 40s. She's not that old. And she's showing a video of We Are the World to her class to see if they knew anyone. They knew only one person. And guess who it was on that entire video? Who do you think?
Michael Jackson.
Of course. They knew no one. When they showed Billy Joel, one guy said, who did he guess it was? He said, is that, Bill Nye the Science Guy? And then they showed another person. They showed Stevie Wonder. They had no idea who he was. and no one. They didn't know who anyone was except.
It's shocking they didn't know who. Oh man, now I can't think of her name. She was in the Thunderdome movie. What is her name? Come on, help me out.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, she was in one of the Mad Max ones. She was
Tina
great.
Turner.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. How do people not recognize her?
No, they didn't know her. They didn't know Bruce Springsteen. They didn't know.
When they found out who it was, did they at least recognize the name?
Oh no, they didn't know who they were.
Oh, so if they said Bruce Springsteen, they wouldn't know he was. Who
They
he
knew.
was?
Hold on. When she said the boss, they knew that, and they also knew the name. Who else? They knew a name of someone else, but not who it was really. But they knew the name. Here's the deal. It's amazing though how no matter how big you are, honest to God, how big you just fade. Elvis did not fade. Michael Jackson did not fade. The point is,
No, Elvis is fade. I got to disagree with you. There is no way, like a 15-year-old kid, unless if he saw the movie his parents drug him out, they don't know who Elvis is.
I'll bet you they do. I know. I don't know about.
Well,
15.
Who would we possibly
Mark,
ask?
I don't know about 15, but I'm talking about like as they get older, like I'm talking about kids. Let's say kids 18 to 24. Wouldn't they know? They know Michael Jackson. They'll know.
Yes.
They will know Elvis. I think.
But I'm just saying the kids now, let's say under 10 for that matter, have no clue.
Hey, one question, guys. So this "We Are the World" was a response to "Feed the World,"
right? From Geldof.
From the British artists.
Geldof,
So
Irish, did it.
How many would the kids recognize from the British?
Oh my God, 0.
I don't think so.
Who would they recognize? Hell, I don't
You had
recognize
Culture
them.
Club. You had Bono. You had a lot of people.
Okay, Kelly, there is no one under the age of 25 that's ever heard of Culture Club.
Oh, stop it. Yes, they have.
What do you think, Tom? You think I'm crazy in
don't
that?
know.
And I'm going overboard,
Feed the
but in
World-
general.
Feed the World is definitely a better song.
I don't know. My kids knows them all because he's into music, but I don't know. I
have no idea, man.
Let's go back to Arthur. Arthur, I've been doing some research, and let me interpret that. Internet searching and Chat GPT. Apparently, you're not the only one experiencing this, so that might make you feel good. And it's not just China, although China's flagged as number one. There are some other countries, Nigeria being one. If you get wires from certain countries, they do put a hold on them. I never heard of them calling back the place saying, "Did you really mean to do this?" But I'd like to know something. I'd like to know.
Be sure of
Did they tell you when it would be good? The funds would be good.
Oh, they said maybe a few days or maybe a few weeks, and that was after I pressed them to give me a time frame.
I think they're going to make them. I think we need to revisit this, and if not,
why not put a complaint in to the people that Doc apprised us of?
Yeah, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. They definitely will look at it, but they won't look at it after a few days. I would say you'd have to, and you're not going to like to hear this, you'd have to wait a week or two before you put a complaint in. You're supposed to get provisional credit.
The problem.
What's that?
They're just, the problem is that they're just dragging it out so long. But I did talk to Boulder County deputy about this thing, and that was at the fraud department of First Bank is the one that's doing this. And I was happy to cooperate with him, but I told him that I have to operate in good faith. Just because somebody tells me to hate somebody and not trust them and never talk to them again, even when they owe me money, that's not something I do. I want to talk to them directly and try to work it out. So I did. And they sent the money. Now I think the person in the fraud department is miffed that I wouldn't bow to her hatred.
Well, I don't know if it's hatred. I mean, it might be, but I don't know if it is. Let me ask you something, though, Arthur. Do you think this thing was legit?
I think it's legit, but I'm too paranoid at this point to want to invest in it. I just want my money back and leave me alone.
I don't have. I'm going to change my theory on this real quick. I'm kind of glad the bank is doing it. You might have got scammed out of your money.
What do you think the game was if they put $4,800 in his account and took 3% commission from the $5,000?
I don't know, but the whole thing sounds sketchy as hell.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it's sketchy as hell, but they.
Well, then praise the bank.
Let me ask you something, Arthur.
That lady that got under your skin saved your ass.
In order to do your trades for options, did you go online or make a phone call? How did you do it?
I went to their website.
Can I have their website?
Chat box.
Can I see their website?
Hey, Arthur.
Hold on, Doc.
I know. How much money do you have in your account?
Can I have the website?
Oh, well, jeez. It was called EBC Markets.
EBCmarkets.com?
Yeah. And they may be, if you profile them with prejudiced towards Chinese, you'll say, oh, my God, run for your life.
Well, first of all, that website's not coming up, but...
It's probably a dot something else, like dot ripoff or dot gotcha.
Well, I could look it up. I just don't want to give them good or bad publicity.
I see it.
When I'm
EBC Markets. Now I see it.
Well, one of them looks like European Bank Commission. That's an EBC. But that's
hey, Arthur, do you have $5,000 in that account?
It's come back to my account.
No. Before the money, how much did you have in your account?
I had $5,700. Now I got $700 because there's approximately $5,000.
No, what he wanted to know is, did you have enough to cover it?
Right. Then they could just hold it for you.
Oh well, they kicked me out of their bank. They told me I had to get my accounts closed in 2 weeks.
Okay. You know what? This happens a lot, by the way. They flag accounts for fraud and tell you to leave the bank. This happens a lot. It's called being debanked. Some people are debanked for fraud flags. Some people are debanked for political views. Some people are debanked. It depends. It really depends on what the bank wants to do. But this has been happening a lot for fraud, or what they say is suspected fraud. So if I were you right now, I would wait to see if this stuff gets if this stuff gets cleared. And if not, what I would do, I would sue that bank for the $4,800. I would, because they have to prove that it's not good. You got money sitting in your account. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. More right after this.
Yep.
This is Dan Kaplis. Many big problems in Colorado can be traced back to the lack of respect for the inherent dignity and value of human life. That lack of respect for human life is also behind the explosion of reckless driving on our roadways. Our firm makes these reckless drivers and their insurance companies pay fully. We take righteous injury cases on a percentage fee basis. If you need our help, give me a call at 303-770-5551 or hit dankapleslaw.com.
If you're looking to sell your home in a hurry, you don't want loan approvals, you don't want to wait on inspections, you don't want to do repairs, maybe you have a lot of deferred repairs, maybe not, maybe you just have to get out of town quickly, homevestors.com, that's who I would call. I've done business with them for many years now, and Homevestors will gladly give you a bid on what they're willing to pay you for your home, and you'll get that check this week. So why not call them? 800-44-BUYER. You have nothing to lose. 800-44-BUYER, B-U-Y-E-R. Now, Red Rocks Roof and Solar, guest on the show yesterday, they talked about how they do business. They sell the systems, then they install the systems, and they service the systems. But what I love about this company is how they know how to find grants, tax credits, and other programs. They even have built solar farms for people where these people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year selling power back to the grid. They know it all, from big to small. RedRocksRS.com. Give them a call. They are ingenious. RedRocksRS.com, 303-704-2449. John Fuller has been on this show for so many years, advising people on how to pursue personal injury claims, whether you're in an accident or have any other kind of a claim. Of course, he specializes in auto accidents. He weighs in and is our expert on auto accidents. What he does is take a look at your case, what insurance is involved, or what the substance of the at-fault party is, not to waste your time, but to find cases that are not just winnable, but collectible. He talks to you at length, and then you don't talk to an intake counselor or a call center. You talk to him at length. If you guys decide it's a good fit, he'll work for you on a percentage fee basis. Then he negotiates expenses at the end to net you more money. And remember, he always has an eye on where to collect, not just winning. That's something you don't hear a lot of. You even get a cell phone number and can stay in touch with him for the entire time you have your case. John Fuller, give him a call. You'll notice the difference. 303-597-4500, 597-4500, myaccidentlawyer.co.
Thank you, sir. Sorry about the cap list in there. My fault.
Face it, most of the
All right.
dick. But
And Kelly
Damn,
is.
that's harsh. Ugh.
What'd you drink?
I got this little head cold.
They rent smartphones.
Because you have a cold and you have a little head? I don't understand.
A little head cold.
Right. They rent tires? Who rents tires?
Oh, for
A
God's
cold
sakes,
in my
Kelly.
little head. No. Here's what I have.
Yes, sir.
Emergency and vodka.
Oh, there you go.
Hot.
How do you do it?
Jewelry.
Technically, you can't prove I have vodka.
No, sir. Charlie.
Seriously, they have a whole catalog of jewelry.
Kelly
to rent.
is beyond mystified that there's a thing called Rent a Center. Yeah, and not sounding.
Now, Marlene has a car issue from yesterday. Why are we continuing? Let me see. Oh, wait. Kevin Calkin. Okay, we said to get it over there, right?
We got Kevin on, and she hung up because her phone died.
Okay.
What? Okay.
And basically, she wants to know what Kevin had to say.
So she called the shop, and she wants to do a follow-up with you.
All right.
Who rents jewelry?
Anyone that buys at Harry Winston.
Well, no, this is fascinating. They
Yeah.
rent smartphones? Who the
I'll
hell
tell you
rents
what's
a
more
smartphone?
stupid than renting jewelry.
Well, Mark and I are saying that almost anything you buy on a loan is a rental.
This is absolutely
Rent to
fascinating.
own.
I never knew this thing existed.
We know that.
They're
We know
still
that you-
around. I didn't even know they're still around.
You can get anything.
Yeah, well, except happiness. Look, yeah, it's great.
They rent TVs,
Mm-hmm.
and they do rent furniture.
So what the hell is the big deal?
Well, no, they also rent tires. Who the hell rents tires?
It's
You
at
don't
least
rent
a buy.
tires, you liar.
It's on
It's
there.
on. It's on the website. This is absolutely fascinating.
It's rent smartphones too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
crazy planet.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know. I
always
guess
something.
I missed something.
Did
you?
Something along.
You're really in touch with the people, Kelly.
Yeah, the 52 years I've been alive, I missed something.
Yeah. Well, not a meal. Okay, here we go.
at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Marlene, welcome. You called yesterday, and your problem, you have, we had Kevin Calkin on from Sheridan Auto Tech, but You bought a car from you brought your car to Davidson Motors to do some major work. They did a timing chain and several other things. You paid $1,400. You say that they messed up your car, and that Big O said they found several problems, including broken screws, and it fell into the engine. Kevin Calkin said it would be impossible for them to know that any screws fell into your engine. Impossible. And that the only thing he could think of, if they were talking about replacing a bolt on the generator, that wouldn't have fallen into, that's on the outside of your engine. So we were confused at the time. So what did you find out?
Well,
did you call back Big O?
Big O, yes, I did talk to them, and
they don't even do engine work, so I don't know why you would go to Big O Tires anyway.
Well, because I just wanted them to look at it and see my initial thing was it was a fan belt, and it grew into bigger things, and the reason why they didn't respond to you is because they said they felt like they were in trouble, and I spoke with the manager up there.
No, I told Kachina to make it clear that they were going to be an expert in this case.
Okay, so I talked with him, and he explained it to me again, which like I said, I have the picture. He told me, he gave me his personal number.
Can we call him?
If I have any,
can we call him?
I don't know.
Well, let's put it this way, Marlene. According to our expert, they unless they have X-ray vision, and the last I knew, the comics stopped selling those X-ray glasses many years ago. But those, you can't tell if there's any. I don't even know how they can tell you they drop screws into your engine. How do they know that?
No, it's not. They're not into the engine. They are broke off.
Okay.
I even have.
Well, okay, I understand that. I understand that now. If they have studs that broke off and they have to replace the studs, they have to remove the old with an easy out. Then they have to use a Healy coil to tap back into the engine and put a new stud in. Not a big deal.
He told me they cannot do the work because they don't have the equipment.
Okay,
so
but you can get another place to do it. What I'm getting at is I don't think you're going to get Davidson Motors necessarily to pay for it. But it's not going to be that expensive. Okay. How many studs are broken?
I think he's showing. I should have been able to send it to you, but I didn't. The picture that he gave me of it.
Marlene, can you send us? Put her on hold. Can we please see a picture or their invoice or something? Marlene. Here's the deal. It's not that old of a car, but it has 75,000 miles. They broke some studs. Were they negligent? You got to get it fixed first, and get someone to look at the studs after they remove them. And then you do small claims court or something. They're not going to voluntarily pay for broken studs. I'm surprised they didn't tell you about them, though. That's what pisses me off.
Right. And I have a question.
Yeah.
Because when I went to Davidson Motors, I found out that the man I was talking to is a finance manager. He is not the owner. So when I called him, I said, you are not the owner. You cannot make that decision. I need the owner. So he sends me to the young lady that works in the back that helps with the mechanics back there. And I talked to her, and I asked her to please reach out to the owner. So I called her today, and she tells me she hasn't got a response back from him.
What are you expecting, Marlene? Are you expecting them to say, oh, yes, Marlene, we broke off those studs. We will replace them. Is that what you want them to say?
I'm expecting them to pay for what I paid for, to fix what I paid for. That to me is a lot of money.
I agree with you. Marlene, I agree with you.
And I'm upset. I deserve the right to have my vehicle running.
Well, hold on, though. If it had problems before, they don't have to fix. All they have to do is what they said they were paid for. Can you send us, please, the invoice? And I'll have one of our people call. Let's see what we can see on the invoice. You should. You're right.
Let me say.
You're right, Marlene.
Let me say this.
You have a right to have what you paid for fixed.
And the only thing that I took my car in there for was because it could not pass emissions. And they came up with all this stuff that needed to be fixed. And mind you, I had to take my car to the commissioner in order to get that, whatever they do, so you can get your tags to get through emissions.
Okay. Listen, right now, how's your car running?
I can't drive it. They told me if the belt breaks, I'm going to be stuck wherever I'm at. They told me do not drive my vehicle.
Okay. Okay. Let's call over to this place, man, and just see. I mean, first of all, we need, I'm not going to call anywhere yet. We still don't know how much it's going to cost to fix. Big O Tires doesn't know. They don't do this work. Have you taken it somewhere to see what it will cost to replace those studs?
I can't. If I drive this vehicle and it stops on the road, or if I'm in the highway,
I think you can limp over there. Look it. Is the car running?
The car runs, but they told me not. I shouldn't drive.
Where is it?
It is parked right in front where I live.
Just roughly, what part of town is that?
I'm in Aurora.
Okay.
I'm right off of 225 in Mississippi.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, okay.
I
want to
shuffle.
I want to get this car. You got to get this car to somebody. You got to do it. I mean, we can't do a miracle. You got to get the car somewhere. I mean, did Davidson did they refuse to talk to you?
Yeah, basically he shut me down. I got it on video. He told me we're not fixing anything.
It's a 2013, so it's a 10-year-old or 11-year-old car, 75,000 miles, not terrible. I think that...
And I haven't had no issues with my car other than it not being able to pass emissions.
I get it.
That's how all
I get
this
it.
happened.
And now you have broken studs that you didn't have before. So, Doc.
Exactly.
Doc, why don't you call over there? And speaking of Doc and cars, didn't you? And just hold on, and we'll try to get somebody to talk to you over there. There's no reason they should just stonewall you at all. Doc, find out why they're stonewalling. Can I ask you what your follow-up is, Doc?
It's about, remember Navia had a car with no title and was broken down?
Yeah, now Navia, she was 18 years old and pregnant, and in November she went to Ariana Auto Sales in Commerce City and bought a car. She paid it off. She and her husband or her boyfriend need this car, and now she can't. She also said, I don't think she can get title, and she has multiple problems. So what's going on?
Well, she called me yesterday and told me they went down, they got a clear title, and the people at Ariana fixed the car, so now it's running fine, and she has a title.
That is so great. I
was really thrilled.
Oh, man, I am really happy to hear that. And you know what that calls for? And that's nice to, what is this, a Wednesday? It's so
Should be a
nice to
super
use your
dinger.
dinger in the middle of the week. Okay, hey, stop that. I got to get my sound on. I don't know what the hell happened to my sound. No one heard my dinger. I just had it out. Let me just find it again. Here it is. I got it. Hey, that's anemic. I got a better dinger than that.
That was a pretty pathetic dinger.
What the hell's going on? Where's my... Oh, there it is. Hold on. Now I got it. Oh, my God. How many times have you tried to use your dinger and it doesn't work? This is something...
How dare you?
Finally. All right. And I even have the effects. Hold on. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Gosh. Anyway, 303-713-8255.
Dinger malfunction.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
West of downtown, 6th Avenue westbound at Perry Street, a crash in the center lane, a stop and go back from I-25. Otherwise, a calm drive throughout the Denver Metro for the late morning commuters. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from DIA. South of there through Aurora and the Tech Center. 225 north and southbound, no complaints as well. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. It's another warm one out there today, folks. Mostly sunny skies with a high of 63. Overnight low of 32. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high of 62. Friday, scattered showers with a high of 52. The current temperature in Denver is 52 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
Fix It 24/7 was at my house recently. You know, I had them do an extreme clean on this system, and then I had them come back to do some maintenance, and it was getting up there like 20 years of age, 20 years on this one furnace in this second floor. And I said, you know what? Let's change it out. They did a wonderful job. Not only did they change it out quickly and efficiently, it was a great price, and it was a real price. And by the way,
hey, Lily,
for $39, they'll send someone to your home to find any problem, or free second opinions on replacements of anything. They don't come to look to sell you something. They look to fix and to give you permanent solutions. FixMyHome.com. Hey, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, along with Keelan Park here today, and also Empower Reverse Mortgage. We're all having a retirement summit, and it'll be on February 8th. That's Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. I should mention, you don't have to wait for that summit in order to call Retirement Planning Center. Get a head start and call them. But if you want to attend, it would be worth it, whether you call them or not. It's the Retirement Freedom Summit. Retirement Freedom, what is that? That is when you deal with income, investments, taxes, healthcare, legacy and estate planning, and all of that will be discussed. I invite you to join us at the Delta Event Center. That's at the Marriott Denver in Thornton. So that is at, by the way, East 120th Avenue. Come by 6 o'clock, please. Call first or get your tickets at rpcenter.com, or call them, please, and talk to them about your retirement. They put together an entire plan. 970-663-3211. That's 970-663-3211.
QC not working.
Thank you.
20-529-0129.
For a second. God, Jesus.
Why is his mic on?
Okay.
Because he's a couple years younger than you, and folks tend to forget stuff.
Can he hear us right now?
No.
Yes,
God,
I
no.
can.
Can he hear you when you're in the room with him?
No, but can he hear us or not?
No.
Tom,
Yeah.
when we had Ryan do the show because we both had to be out,
720-529-0129.
Doc was offended that he couldn't do it. Can you even imagine?
We should do it.
You know, I said that, but then on second thought, I said we might come back to not a show.
Oh, is that what it is?
Just because of the slightly
2-1,
stronger than
okay.
Archie Bunker prejudice that would have been on display.
Yes. It would be like an episode of Archie Bunker.
Well, you know what the colored like? Hey, what are you doing?
God, we laugh, but he was born like a long time ago, man. My buddy Tommy, not Martino, but
I think
Tom
they
met
just
him.
wrapped up dropping bombs in World War II, right?
Yeah?
Yep.
Or World War One.
No. He's
well,
about the
when
same
did
age
World
as my
War
dad.
One end?
1919.
Okay, well, I think he was born around 34.
No, isn't he 80? It would have been like 44.
No, 80. Oh,
No,
yeah, my dad just
if
turned
he was
80.
He'd be born in 53.
No,
Who?
that's you.
No, I mean,
That's
excuse me,
70.
43 if he's 80.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was born in December of 44.
Hey, Mike, good
He's
morning.
Mine
My
was
name is
born in
Doc. I'm with
44.
the,
Yep, 79.
Martino Troubleshooter show. I'm
Coming up
not
on a
sure if
birthday
you're
at the end of the
familiar with
year.
it. We're a radio show.
I hear
that's been on the air for
Doc
40
all the
years
time.
dealing with,
Let's listen to him.
consumer issues. And we got a call from Lily Richardson about some untoward stuff that was in one of our hamburgers and had to go to the ER.
I like that.
And
Untoward.
Sure.
Slimy substance of a bodily fluid nature.
Okay, you're not on the air, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh, normally you would be, Doc.
What was in the hamburger?
Who was in the hamburger?
How did I miss this hamburger story?
Should I
Which
come back
hamburger
with Come
story?
On, Eileen?
He just said he was calling because there was something in a hamburger.
Blue
You
slime.
didn't hear that?
In a hamburger.
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
No, what freaking restaurant?
Burger King.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
We don't know what it was. It was
That
blue.
is just so gnarly, man.
I know. It was blue.
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay, greenish. I don't know.
Why is our new deputy asking if Tom is handsome? That is the oddest thing. I think our new deputy might be a little, let's say,
Who, Deputy
light in the
Dink?
loafers.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't know.
Oh, crap. Here we come.
630 KHOW.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Okay.
Hey, real quick, if people don't listen to us on YouTube, you are missing so much behind the scenes during the commercial. Deputy Doc actually called up Burger King over the slime in the hamburger, and him talking to the manager was just extraordinary, to say the least. You go to youtube.com, type in Troubleshooter Network, you'll see the live show every day.
Thank you. Zach, what's going on with Groove?
Well, I've been having a lot of trouble with them.
Okay, did you buy a car from them?
Yes.
When?
So I bought that car on December 28th.
And it's
of
a
last
used
year.
2016 Toyota?
Yes.
Okay. And what's a Tacoma, right?
Yeah. Got a little over 120,000 miles on it.
Okay, so what's going on?
So the day I bought the vehicle, it was perfectly fine. Didn't see any trouble with it.
May I
And
ask the
next
question
day-
I asked 6,255,000 times? Did
Go for it.
you have it checked out first by your own mechanic?
I did not, because
Okay.
they said
Got
they did
it. So it appeared to be good. That's all I need to know. You didn't. So the day you bought it appeared to be fine. Then what?
So the next day, I noticed it was leaking oil pretty badly. So I got in contact with my sales manager.
You understand?
He
Did you
said-
buy it with a warranty?
Well, so I did not buy any aftermarket warranties, but it came with a warranty that the dealership offers.
Okay, that's what I want to know. What do they offer?
So let me pull up the warranty.
Because that's important.
And what was it? Was it Groove? Who was it?
Yes, Groove.
It was down in Colorado Springs.
Got it.
So it says limited warranty. The dealer will pay 100% of the labor and 100% of the covered systems that fail during the warranty period.
How long
So
is the warranty period?
2 months or 2,000 miles.
That's pretty good. 100% of covered items. What's covered?
So it says engine, transmission, transaxle, transfer case, and drive axle.
Oh, that's just the powertrain, but it's still good.
Yeah.
It's a good warranty for a used car.
Yeah.
So what broke?
I took it down to the dealership.
So it was a
They said, "We'll check
2-month
it out."
warranty. Let me get that straight, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I took it down to the dealership. They checked it out. They couldn't give me a really good diagnosis on it, but when me and my dad looked at it, I think it was the valve cover gasket. It was what was going on. So they said they fixed it, quote unquote. Took it back home, was doing okay, and then about like a week later, driving up to work in like 4 a.m. in the morning, and on the highway, my car broke down. Called the tow truck to come pick it up. Took it down to Solar Automotive in Castle Rock. That's where I live.
Do me a favor, Zach. I don't need the narration on the story, but what did it turn out? Just what happened?
The engine block blew.
Now, so you went from an oil leak to the engine block. Now, before that engine block, when you say blew, do you mean you had bottom end damage, or did it literally crack open?
Like it cracked open. There's a hole. There's two
So
holes.
it threw a rod.
Yeah, that's exactly. So before that happened, a lot of other things happened. I mean, for that to happen, you got to have starved of oil and heat.
Yeah, the bearings could have been out on the
So
bottom
did you
side.
did you have any kind of indication, oil, lights or anything?
Nope. Nothing.
You were just driving along and bang, it happened.
Yep. Didn't say oil or the oil was low or anything.
Okay. Now,
So what'd they say about it?
what did they say first? Back up. What did they say they fixed when you took it in with an oil leak?
They didn't really give me much information on that. They just said they fixed the oil leak and said I could go home.
And the car
I
was
there
running fine.
Yeah. is what they
Okay,
said.
so does the warranty cover this?
It should, but they said they want it to be brought down to the dealership, but I cannot get it down.
Well, Zach, if you have a warranty, get it to the damn dealer. When did it break down? You bought it in December. When did it break down like this? When was this breakdown?
The 9th of January.
Okay, so we're not that bad. Get it in there, bro. Where has it been all this time?
Solar Automotive.
Why?
My God, you're going to give them an out if it goes over 60
Now,
days.
Let me ask you something. Did these people at Solar mess with that car?
I don't know if they did or not.
Okay, you better.
You didn't
get it.
sign anything for them to tear it down, right?
No.
Okay. Will Groove still look at it? Are you still within? Yeah, you bought it what? December what?
28th.
Get it in there, bro.
I just don't understand your thought process, man. I mean, they're going to fix it there and warranty it for you. I don't even think they've done anything wrong.
No, the thing is, I've already given them a chance to fix it. They really
No. That's ridiculous.
But
You had a
Zach, what do
little
you mean
oil
by
problem.
that? What do you mean by that? You gave them a chance. What does that mean?
He's talking about the oil leak.
Zach, if it's under warranty, you have no choice. You don't have a lot of rights here. You're talking like you got some rights. The only right that you have with a used car with 120,000 miles is whatever warranty you got. And if you didn't get a warranty, you would have no rights. So you got a warranty, and you're telling me you already gave them a chance to fix it, and you don't trust them to fix it under warranty. Just tell me, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, then good luck paying for the repair at Solar, and you're on your own. There's nothing else we can do to help you.
Yeah, there is. We can get through to his thick skull to get it over there before you have nothing.
Zach, I want you to be honest with me. Did Solar Automotive start working on it?
Yes.
How far did they get?
They ordered the new engine for it.
Well, and let me ask you this. In some crazy notion of your universe, you want Groove to pay for this engine.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Good luck, sir. Good luck. You let me know how that goes, okay? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mark, it's too late. He's in so deep with that
I'm
other
sitting
one.
here, my head. I'll tell you what should be done. Someone should go find his mom and dad and kick them both in the butt for just creating this.
Now, listen, I'm telling you, he didn't even give them a chance to fix this new one.
Sorry, I thought that whatever Mark was saying was good to end on.
Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
A fairly easy drive throughout the Denver Metro before we hit the noon hour. I-25 southbound. Watch out for some road work just after I-76. We're seeing slow driving back from I-270. West of there, I-70 westbound. Road construction in the left lane between Sheridan Boulevard and Harlan Street. I-70 eastbound flowing free to the DIA area. South of DIA, I-225 north and southbound. No complaints through Aurora and the Tech Center. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies, high of 63 this afternoon, overnight low of 32. Warm again tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 62. Scattered showers on Friday. The current temperature in Denver is 55 degrees with your impact traffic and weather. Mark Swan, 630 K-How.
When you get your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt, prepare to shout, Jackson Hewitt, yeah, from the rooftops. In the event you don't get your biggest refund, you'll get your money back, plus $100.
Hey, you've heard of the weight loss, Ozempic and Wegovy and all those, right? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. Denver Regenerative Medicine, I'm going to give you the website. They're going crazy with this. They're offering the same active ingredient, semaglutide, and they're offering it in a compounded form. So it's a generic compounded form that does the same thing, and it's only $250 a month, not $1,200, $1,400, $250 a month. If you want to lose weight, denverregen.com, and it's compounded. That's with doctor's visits and all supplies and meds, $250 a month. Of course, always check with your physician if you have any questions about it, denverregen.com. RKC Automotive is someone that could have checked out that car for this young man. RKC Automotive is in our family of dependable, honest, established auto repair facilities. RKC Automotive is on Evans, just west of Tejon. RKC Automotive will do everything it takes to keep a customer for life. So when you take it in there for normal maintenance or repairs of old or new cars or foreign or domestic cars, they won't let it leave without an extreme, complete inspection of everything else as a courtesy, because they want to make sure there are no hidden problems. They're good, honest, thorough people. 720-749-3965. Look for them on Facebook as well, RKC Automotive, 2120 West Evans. Joe Lazzara, he's a criminal defense attorney. And when I mention that, don't even waste your time thinking, I'll never need one. You may not, but maybe you need to recommend him to a friend, a neighbor, a relative. Joe Lazzara will take the case for a flat rate basis after a free initial consultation. Here's my real message to you. Don't ever shop when you're under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. You can trust Joe Lazzara. If you got a DUI and did something stupid, call him. Anything else, call him. 303-429-6200, 429-6200.
Thank you.
The only good thing about making fun of someone that stupid is other people hear it, and really, I hope it sinks through. I can't even imagine what this guy was thinking. If you bought a TV at Walmart and it was a Samsung, would you, bring it over to Target to have them fix it or something, or Best Buy? I just don't even understand the train of thought.
Well, here's what it is, Mark. We hear it a million times. That is, I gave them a chance, and they screwed up.
But all they did was it had nothing even the same.
I know.
It's going to end up costing them what? I'd say $5,000. I cannot get over this one influencer. I just can't get over it.
Who is it, Mark?
So I'm going to send this to you two, you and Shannon.
All right.
So she is complaining that men aren't masculine. No, what the hell's the word?
Masculine?
Yeah, masculine anymore. Okay? And it's hard to find a good man these days. Okay?
Good to find a hard man. What?
It's good. That's right. So, Shannon, I'm going to send it to your iHeart.
Yeah.
And, Tom, you're going to get it. Go click on it right now. You're going to fucking die. This is a real news story everywhere. You don't have to listen to it, but this woman is complaining it's hard to find a good man.
But why do you find that hard to believe?
Well, you'll see in a second. I can't, like, describe it as you seeing it for real.
Huh.
And I feel for her. It probably is hard to find a masculine man. So tell me when you got it.
I got it.
And click on it to YouTube.
Oh, my God in heaven.
Now, how the fuck would I explain that?
Oh. Is this a woman?
Yep.
Oh, no, it's a transgender influencer.
Yeah, read the first sentence. A powerful statement. Ali C. Lopez, a prominent transgender influencer, has raised an important discussion about declining masculinity. Okay, do you think that's her problem with finding a man?
Her? Like I commented on something on TikTok the other day. Hey, you got to give it to them Muslims for inventing that burqa. That's a good idea.
Oh, God. All right, Doc.
She has a struggle finding a partner.
Yep, because they're not masculine.
Perhaps she's looking in the wrong species. I mean...
Have you tried something in a D cell?
Have you ever seen anything that looked like that in your life?
Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable, man. It's like she went out of her way to make herself fugly.
Make a Hitachi turn off.
Oh, easily.
And I didn't realize she's a prominent influencer.
It's amazing.
I didn't know Jabba had a sister.
You know, when we say anybody can be a TikTok star, does that not prove that?
Oh, Mark, but you didn't see the Instagram. You didn't see her Instagram. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK.
Hey, Tom, I want to say something really quick. The reason I get upset and say things like that guy with the car who decided the engine broke down, he brings it to a different shop, he has a warranty at a different place, made every bad decision someone could, is because I don't want other people to make those mistakes. I feel bad for the guy, but holy crap.
I get it. Listen, we want to keep taking your calls, but if we think you're doing something wrong, we're obligated to tell you. So, Zach, hang on there. Gary, Tom.
Don't forget YouTube.
Well, Zach is the one that's wrong. Don't hang on, Zach. Cold weather.
I like Zach was the one who was wrong. Don't hang on.
Zach, don't hang on.
Holy moly.
Give up, Zach.
All right, I got Big Bear flooring here real quick, and then I'm bringing my dad up the hill, so I will see you guys manana.
Okay, cut
For
me
Tom,
off.
Tom, that means in the morning, manana.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Are you going to mountains?
Yeah, we're going to head up to the mountain as soon as Big Bear's done. I got Matt with Paragon and Big Bear here to wrap up my flooring crap.
That's a lot going on.
Later, Gator.
Bye.
See ya. Hey, make sure you go back to the full studio shot here.
Kelly's on the stream,
Hello?
and now you can give Fuller 4. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
You
am.
realize that?
Well,
You recognize that?
Yes,
You
sir.
understand that?
not till the 15 break.
Yeah, but now with Tinky Winky gone,
Oh.
I don't.
No, I have to call him because he's off site.
No, I don't. I think that, you don't have food poisoning 3 days later and you had no symptoms. There's always diarrhea and vomiting with food poisoning.
Love you, bye.
And I think that there may have been something in there that, upset her a little bit, but it certainly didn't cause her to go to the emergency room. So I think you've done your due diligence, and I have no problem with you're not paying for it.
I may start renting.
No, like I said, I know the symptoms of food poisoning, and she didn't exhibit them. All right, thanks for calling, Mike.
You can actually rent winter tires just for the winter. That's a good idea. They have like.
Years ago, Alaska didn't have enough snow. Now there's too much. More than 100 inches of snow has fallen in Anchorage, leading to some commercial rooftops to collapse. The same round of storms also delivering another punch to western states. This is ABC. President Biden will soon visit East Palestine.
Does he know that?
The site of last year's fiery train derailment.
Train. Under pressure.
A major rain and snowstorm hitting the West Coast today. The heaviest rain expected in northern California. Forecasters 6 inches of snow on some areas. And rain. Storms are expected to hit California for the next 10 days. I'm Michelle from ABC News.
Good morning. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show. Oh, yeah. So if you go to our website, which is, you can just Google it, KHOW Denver, and no problem. It's, you just Google KHOW Denver, and it should have a link for you. And then once you get to the website, there'll be 3 bars on the top left. And you need to pull that down and find the Tom Martino Show, and then you can actually click on Listen Live. No problem. No problem. You too. Bye-bye.
It does that. I've laid in bed watching TikTok long enough that it goes, hey, knock it off. Tubby.
In connection with the investigation into missing woods, the forensic scientist's work was called into question last year after several anomalies were found in her DNA testing results. The State Department of Public Safety is asking for nearly $7.5 million to spend on reviewing and retesting DNA samples processed by Woods. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now I can't get that out of my head. Anomaly. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Anomaly. Ba-ba-da-ba. Anomaly.
Okay, but here's the thing though. I have many gaps in between, like, when I was younger, I
So,
was better,
I think
and
we're done with
all the. In other words, and then I played professionally for a while while I was
calling,
going
Zach.
to college,
Hope that
and then
helps.
so I did get better.
All right. Bye.
So it did help me a bit.
Hopefully no longer.
I did not. I wasn't constantly
He's got a car now.
studying. I wasn't serious.
So
like
that you know.
So it did have its challenges.
What the hell, man?
I did not have the discipline and stuff like that.
It is
Hey, at
really
least he's got
dark.
10 toes.
Oh my god. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to get, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and refill my water.
So for a while, from probably the ages of 14 to 30, out of 26, I was pretty serious. Then on and off, and then I just resurrected this drum set after years. And I have the memory, and I have the muscle memory, but not
What are we
necessarily
doing
the
now?
execution.
Where are we? Who am I?
But that's a hybrid set. That's all the best technology. That's multi-ply, 7-ply maple shells. But if you know anything about like the way they build drums, there's nothing going through the shell of that drum. All of those brackets are rim mounted, and nothing hits the floor for vibration. And also, there's electronic pickups on every single drum to give, and those heads are mesh silent. They call them. They're 75% silent. So you play and hear the electronic that way more drum set right now. At one point,
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Enter it now.
10 seconds, guys.
Ovation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Get your calls in. I'll take them. We'll have fun. We'll do whatever it takes to make your life a little easier. Let's talk to Gary. Gary, go ahead. What's going on, Gary?
Hey, Tom. I talked to you a couple months ago. I had a nominee for the Sleeves Brigade. Gave you all the information, and I still have not seen anything posted.
Yeah, I understand that. And I'm sorry about that. I have about 6 people that have to go on the Sleeves Brigade. You really want to get this guy, man, and I don't blame you. It was a hot tub guy, right?
Yeah, and he just ripped off somebody else.
Oh, no, he didn't. Did he really? Another person?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 now.
Do you have his, did you give me with everything else his phone number?
Yes. Okay. You were going to give him a call at one point, and
why don't we call him?
Picture.
I mean, why don't we call him? Have we ever tried calling him before? We should. I'm looking in my Sleeves Brigade. Hold on, right here. My Sleeves Brigade here. Okay, hold on. I see you, but I am trying to see. Is it Juan?
His name is Neil Christian Smith.
Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to find. I mean, man, this guy. I don't know why. I'm trying to hear Neil Christian Smith. I thought I had him in my to be listed here, and I can't. Neil Christian Smith. You know, I know you gave it to me because I remember seeing it. Oh, I may have put it up, but not made it live yet. But anyway, this guy just ripped. Oh, Christian. No. Geez. Okay. So tell me something. Where on this guy, where did he rip off someone else?
He's on all these different websites.
Where does he mainly get his business?
Yelp. That's I think there's 3 or 4 people on Yelp that he's gotten and I think there's one on next door, and there's some others I can't remember the names of them.
This really pisses me off because I remember you specifically. And do you chime in and let people know about him? Is there somewhere we can see his ratings?
Yeah, if you look up True Freedom Hot Tubs and open up Yelp, and you'll see he's got 3 or 4 there. And
where does he mainly operate from?
Out of North Glen.
True Freedom Hot Tubs. This guy has 3. I'm surprised he has 3 stars. It says here, I mean, he had one that the guy loves. There are some people that love him. I mean.
Oh, there's some. And one of them, the woman's from Saskatchewan. It's like he's full of crap.
You think?
But if you scroll down, you'll see 3 or 4 of them with the 1 star.
Yeah, I'm looking. There are some good ones in there, though, and I'm thinking, well, hold on. There's some people in California that have been ripped off by him. This guy gets around, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. We do have to let people know. Would you do me a favor? And I swear to God, I am looking, but I'm live on the air, so it's hard to really search. So instead of me searching, hold on. Let me see if this is the guy. Neil, oh yeah, I got it. Neil Christian Smith, I got him. The picture with a cigarette in his mouth, finally, I got it. You know why I didn't have it? Because Julie sent me the email, not you. Who's Julie? Or is this someone else got ripped off by him?
My wife.
Okay, Julie, okay.
Yep.
And I got it. I got his picture. And would you do me, I'll look on Yelp, but is there anywhere else I can find out about his ripoffs? And his number is 303-549-2148?
Yes.
Kelly, call him. And just call him and say, we're from the Troubleshooter Show. We've heard you've been ripping people off. Is the main ripoff he takes money and doesn't do the work?
Yep. If you read those reviews, that's exactly what he does.
303-549-2148. Did you try taking him to the small claims court to at least get a judgment?
I did get a judgment. He didn't show up. I went through interrogatories. He failed to respond. I got a contempt citation out for him.
Oh, my God, and, you're good. You're good, bro. That's good. And so what's going on with that?
I just don't want him. I filed for it yesterday.
Okay,
and
cool.
I just don't want him to rip anybody else off.
All right, I'm glad that you filed that. Keep in touch. Stay on top of me, please, okay? And I will let people know about it. Kelly, let's call him and see if this guy will come on and address why he is ripping people off. 303-713-TALK. Thank you for calling. 303-713-8255. I don't mind people staying on top of me for that kind of stuff. Well-deserved. Tom, what's happening with you, Tom? Welcome.
Tom, thank you very much for taking my call.
Yes, sir. What's happening, man?
About April of last year, you and your team were helping me out with trying to get paid from a rural route contractor by the name of Ameritrans when I had worked for them in January of last year.
And did we actually take your call on the air, Tom?
Yes, you did.
And it was last year?
And last year, about April of last year.
Got it. Okay. And what happened?
And I followed your I had followed your advice. I put in a claim with both the Colorado Department of Labor
wage and hour, that's
and also
right.
with unemployment. Yep. I had also gotten in touch with Congressman Buck's office, who then also got me in touch with the United States Department of Labor, who has already filed a large major claim against Ameritrans on behalf of not only myself, but many of other employees throughout the United States. Currently, everything's hung up right now in federal bankruptcy court in Virginia with everything. My question for you today is, seeing that I never got a W-2, and I'm not going to be getting any tax information from them, the the wages that I should have received from them last year, is there anything that I need to do when I file my taxes this year, even though I have absolutely no information?
Well, you don't have. Wait.
from
Let
receiving
me get this
anything
straight.
from them.
You don't have any income from them. Is that correct?
Nothing showing for income from them.
I'm not
even though I should
asking
have been
about
paid from
showing.
them
No.
last year. Yeah.
Here's what I'm asking. Do you have income from them?
No, I do not.
Okay, that's all that matters. So there's nothing you do. You don't claim
Okay.
a loss. You can't claim a loss for loss of income. So
Okay, that makes sense.
You can't like say I worked this many hours, didn't get paid, and then deduct it.
Okay.
Is that what you were hoping you could
I'd
do? Are
received,
you hoping you could have
information-
taken a deduction?
I had received information from other people that did not give me any clarification on it, and it's like, you know what, I'm going to give you a call so I can have a clear-cut answer right
Okay,
there.
now, here's the deal. We can double-check, but normally your time is not worth anything for deductions. I'm just checking my previous callers because we've had this question before. We can double check with our tax guys. If I work and do not get paid, you don't know. I am almost positive you don't take a deduction for your time because the question is, what would you take? How much and all of that? Would it be what you should have been paid? And did you actually have someone say that you could take a tax deduction for it?
I had a person that said I could, and I also had another person that said that they couldn't, and the information they were giving me was so confusing. It's like, no, I need a clear-cut answer.
Okay, here's the thing. I just found the previous call. And tax losses or deductions are for expenses. The absence of income does not result in a deduction. Okay? I mean, if you had an unreimbursed employee expense, that would be different. But if you have any questions, just consult a tax guy. But how much did you not get paid?
I did not get paid $2,800.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we could take $2,200 of W-2 wages and just nix them because of that? But you can't.
That would be a godsend, but I know that that's not possible. From the answer that you gave me, let me even ask one quick question just to make sure I heard you correctly. So my hours and everything that I should have gotten, I can't claim that. But if I do have the receipts for the gasoline that I spent that should have been reimbursed by them, am I able to claim that?
Any unreimbursed legitimate job expense can be deducted, yes.
Okay, very cool.
Because we've had people here's what we've had people do in the past. They've tried to take their time when they've done work for charity, and you can't. The only time you can take time is if you sent employees and you actually paid those employees. It has to be a real thing. It can't be the air. But you're on the right track. Expenses can be deducted. These scumbags, man. So what's the latest on the scumbags?
The scumbag is right now filing so many injunctions with the bankruptcy court to delay the hearings. So everything right now is still in the Virginia.
How much debt
Federal
does this guy
Bankruptcy
have in
Court.
his bankruptcy? How much debt is he claiming?
If I saw correctly, it's about $3.1 million.
Wow. Are you included in it?
Yes. My wages from back in January are part of what is owed in his debts.
You know, if he
Along
actually
with-
listed, well, that's kind of good. Well, it's not really great news, but if he lists wages, you know they go to the top, right?
That I do understand, yes.
You have a priority claim, so if they do recover anything, your first, or not just you, but wages. I believe it goes wages, taxes, debt. Wages, taxes, debt, investors. In fact, I'm pretty sure of that. Wages, taxes, debt, investors. I'm Tom Martino. We have to take this break. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Manar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic brand
All right, you got about 20 seconds, Tom, and Fuller's on the line, on the phone. He's ready to go.
are different.
All
We
right.
measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself.
Did you get his permission?
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
John Fuller is our personal injury expert. His website, myaccidentlawyer.co. Now, as part of his job, he helps you recover damages from the injured party, from the at-fault party who injured you, and also from insurance companies, your insurance coverages. That's why he's a big bugaboo and has become somewhat of our insurance expert. John advises, first of all, there are certain things you should always have. Like, for example, uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, MedPay coverage to help with medical expenses in the beginning. And then also, what about this coverage, John? I never heard you talk about umbrella coverage. That's relatively inexpensive. Should we have umbrellas? Would it help us?
Yeah, that's a great question. I frequently have people that, come into my office following an accident, and they tell me, oh, we've got great insurance. We have an umbrella. And then when I dig into it, I find out that they just have a basic umbrella that just extends the amount of liability coverage that they have. And what people need to understand is additional liability coverage doesn't help you or your family member in the event that somebody else crashes into you. In order to have that coverage, you need to have something called a rider, which is an extra little bit of insurance that goes along with the umbrella that extends your uninsured motorist coverage to the same dollar amount as your umbrella. So if you had an underlying policy of, say, $100 or $250 or something that had UM on it, and you didn't have that rider, you would be capped at the $250 or whatever your underlying policy is. But if you had it, it would extend that coverage out to the full $1 million of your umbrella. So it's super, super important. Talk to your agent or your insurance company about making sure that any umbrella coverage that you have has that UM or uninsured motorist rider on it. And if you ever have any questions or find yourself in that situation, please give us a call. We'd be happy to talk you through it.
John, honest to God, I'm serious. In all of the discussions I have ever had about accidents, insurance, liability, whatever, this makes my master list. I'm dead serious now. When I learn something that I did not know, it goes on my master list so I can have it for reference. I never even knew you could get a rider to extend your umbrella to your own underinsured coverage. That's incredible. I mean, that alone, people should make phone calls right now to make sure they're getting that. Thank you, John. Honest to God, I really appreciate that. So that would extend a whole bunch of coverage for yourself and your family. 303-597-4500. This is why I like John Fuller, and you should call him at the first sign of trouble and injury at the cost of someone else, or at when someone else causes it, I should say, myaccidentlawyer.co. Hey, Zero Res Denver. What a wonderful place. I love doing their commercials for no reason. What I mean by that is there's nothing to brag about with their water because it's just purified, alkaline-based, pure water, which is the strongest cleaning element in all of nature. It's true. It's the cleaning agent of nature. And they call it ZR water. They have a combination of that and a unique scrubbing technique to gently and thoroughly clean your carpets. I call it really clean. Zero Res gets them really clean with less water And they dry faster, stay clean longer because there's no dirt attracting residue. Honest to God, you'll never have this clean in your home. The only ones I let in my home. Safe for kids, safe for pets. $33 a room plus specials. If you tell them it's for Martino listeners, 303-471-5150, 471-5150, ZeroResDenver.com. You know what? I love the Art of Granite because you can get a price on the phone right now. Now, doesn't even have to be granite. It says the Art of Granite. He does all countertops, Mitch Floria and his team, and they'll give you a price. Tear out and hallways free. The bathroom vanity's free when you have the kitchen done, or you can get a free kitchen sink. And most of all, get your price right now. Give them a call. That's theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919. I need to make that on my list.
I basically had the over-under at 48 hours. And every one of you are like under the 48-hour mark. You're like,
That's called umbrella.
Fuck that.
I'm doing the parts that I know need to be cut out. Because I've had the 30-second back time bed at the end of the hour, that is no good. So that has to get cut out.
Most umbrella
about that little I have no idea. It's just a sound. To me, it's just a sound.
Extend.
And Shannon's putting in my free music, so we're set there, so I don't need to worry about the bumpers.
Oh my God.
Just
It's
need to
so
worry about
funny.
you.
It's so funny listening to all of you guys. All of you are pissed.
Special rider.
I'm just going to sit here and watch. That's all I do.
Good.
But I know nothing, I see nothing, and I talk nothing.
You talk nonsense. That's what talking nothing means.
Sorry, we're back.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter man. A morning filled and early afternoon with calls. We have open lines now for the first time, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, I talked to Burger King.
Oh, I want to bring people up to speed on that. I wanted to just say, though, we do have lawkp.com. We have Brent Keel with us today from Keel and Park, estate planning attorneys. I was going to go over some not faxes. God, I sound like an old fart. Some texts with him in a minute. But, pray tell, Doc. We had a woman who went, I'm going to just tell you, a lot of people, they didn't take kindly to it. They thought they were gold diggers looking for money, and I didn't think so. But anyway, she's at a Burger King. She says she bought a burger, left burger. Frances says she was biting into the burger, eating half of it. She noticed the green-blue slime. She said that she was upset about it, and then the next day went to the ER, or 2 days later, or something. She was feeling sick and having a problem with the bowel movement, and she went to the ER. She wants them to pick up the cost of the ER. She also said, and I thought, you know what, that's not terrible. That's not unreasonable. She was afraid. She went there. Then her cousin said, maybe we want some pain and suffering. And I said, look, you don't get pain and suffering for food contamination that did not cause any permanent damage. Usually, you had a little scare. You looked at it. You were startled. You had no real health problem. Anyway, I thought they should maybe examine paying toward that ER bill or something. What did you find out, Doc?
I spoke to Mike Della Rosa, who was the representative from Burger King that was dealing with this. He did a very thorough job. He talked to the health department. He got her medical records, and number one, he said the burgers come frozen from Shamrock Foods, so nobody at Burger King prepared the meat. They didn't use their hands to make the hamburger patty. And second of all, he doesn't think, and I agree with him, that she didn't have food poisoning. Food poisoning comes within a couple of hours of when you eat contaminated food. And it's usually marked by vomiting, diarrhea, fatigue. She had none of those symptoms. And certainly when she went into the ER several days later, all they did was gave her some cream and a laxative. So it sounds like she was suffering more from constipation than from the signs of food poisoning. So he feels like he did a thorough job, which I agree with, and he doesn't believe that they should pay because it has nothing to do with the food that they prepared.
Okay, what do you think?
I agree. You don't get food poisoning 3 days after you eat contaminated food. And she had no symptoms of food poisoning.
Yeah.
She didn't have vomiting, diarrhea, fatigue, headache. She just had, it sounds to me, like old people's constipation. And so they gave her some laxative.
Okay. Thank you for looking into that for sure. I mean, things like this happen. On estate planning, we always get this question kind of about estates. It's a little complicated. How do you insure for possible estate taxes or taxes that might be due? Now, a lot of people listening say, well, Tom, estate taxes don't even kick in for several millions of dollars. But what about taxes on unpaid taxes on retirement funds and things like that? Like where taxes have not been paid before. Any deferred taxes still have to be paid if you leave the accounts to people. But can you insure for taxes, including inheritance taxes? Somebody says if you don't do the insurance in the right way, it actually compounds the problem and can add to the estate value. So can you explain that?
Okay. Just to clarify, I'm assuming you're talking about life insurance that they have
Yes.
on themselves.
Yes.
Based on who you designate as the owner of the policy and where that policy pays to. So you pay it, to a trust, something that's not
other
part
than
of
the
your
estate.
Yes.
And okay, so if you pay the proceeds to a trust, or can you pay it to an heir?
Yeah, you can pay it to an heir, and if it goes directly to the heir, they're the beneficiary. Those proceeds are usually not considered part of the decedent, the person who passes.
But then you have to trust that person to pay the taxes.
Yeah. People use what they call an ILIT, a life insurance trust, basically.
So a life insurance trust is set up specifically to pay any taxes.
Well, it's set up. You fund it with that life insurance. It's outside of the estate, and then you've got those assets there, and you use it. It's a great tool for people that have businesses and things like that.
So it doesn't necessarily. I mean, what I'm saying is the estate can still pay the taxes, but then it reimburses them without a taxable event.
Correct. And
because
life insurance doesn't add to it.
Life insurance proceeds, if you keep them outside of the estate and you leave them to the trust, you get to enjoy those tax-free or not? Are life insurance benefits tax-free?
They can pass tax-free, correct, yes.
So then the way I see it is if I left my kids stuff and if I was fortunate enough to be over the exemption, or if the exemption gets lowered in the future and there are estate taxes due or any other taxes or any other expenses, this life insurance can be used to reimburse the estate or the kids.
Well, they can definitely take care of that.
They can do anything they want with it.
One of the common uses of life insurance, let's say you owned a business. In your business, you're a taxable estate, and they owe a bunch of money. When you die, that business is part of your estate, and you're going to have to pay estate tax on it. That life insurance,
because of the expense, because of how valuable it could be. Okay.
You can have that life insurance in a trust, and they can use that. The estate's still going to have to pay that tax on the value of the business.
But then that makes up for it.
Yeah, and with that trust, they can use that money from the life insurance to buy the business out of it and then pay the tax. Like, there's lots of planning you can do when you have the cash that the life insurance provides. So
because it's a way to get wealth outside of that. Well, what's to prevent people from just overbuying life insurance? Like just to have a whole bunch of money to leave to their heirs.
Well, there's nothing other.
Is there any law that says you can't insure yourself for more than you're worth?
No.
So if you could afford it, you could when you're younger take out a $10 million life insurance that would pay your heirs or whatever.
That's correct. I mean, I have seen situations where people have got so much insurance because their wealth is so much that it's hard to find someone to place the life insurance with. They're placing it in lots of different, insurers and spreading that risk. That's a real good problem to have if you're. I
know, right.
But for the normal person, there's nothing other than your ability to pay those premiums and pay that life insurance that prevents you from doing just that. If that's what something.
Are there people that do that as part of a plan for their kids or their family?
A lot of people. It's not just the life insurance. They'll use the life insurance as an investment vehicle too for tax deferred growth. There's a lot of tools that it can be incorporated into.
Because if you think about it, let's say you didn't do a good job with your finances through your life, and you want to make up for it. And this is money, maybe even though you're paying more in premiums than you ever thought you would have paid that in other ways to earn money. You would have invested it or had a business. So it's kind of like playing catch up almost.
Well, and the trick with that is knowing when you're going to die. I mean, like a term policy that doesn't work if you don't die on the term, right?
Right.
And then it gets really expensive. So you have to start that young.
Break when you get a chance, Tom.
If people have the money to just buy all the life insurance, they've probably done pretty well in life anyway, because it gets super expensive later on in life. And if you know you're going to die right away, good luck getting insured.
No, I understand what you're saying. Okay, we have to take this break. 303-713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Up on the north end of town, 104th eastbound is closed due to an accident investigation between Marion Street and Irma Drive. Otherwise, a fairly calm commute throughout the Denver Metro. I-25 north and southbound, for the most part, showing highway speeds through town. North of downtown, I-25 southbound, watch out for some road work approaching 58th. I-70 east and westbound, flowing free to and from the DIA area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies. Another warm one out there today. High 63, overnight low of 32. Mostly sunny again tomorrow with a high of 62. The current temperature in Denver is 58 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan at 630 KHOW.
I'm Ben Ferguson. And I'm Ted Cruz. Hunter Biden made millions selling his, quote, art to Democrat donors.
And the White House lied about it.
Plus, China had a genetic map of COVID before the pandemic.
Download Verdict with Ted Cruz now to get all the details.
Empower Reverse Mortgage is a reverse loan lender that sometimes is a part of people's estate or it has to be dealt with. He is going to be at our retirement summit with the RP Center and with Keelan Park. So if you want to learn about reverse loans, you can meet Mark and his team there at February 8th. Go to rpcenter.com to find out more about that. Now, speaking about Mark, you can go to Mark directly for a reverse loan. You don't have to wait for a summit. If you're looking to tap the equity in your home to get rid of your house payment, maybe have an emergency line of credit, a lump sum of cash, or a regular line of credit, call Mark. You can trust him. He will not slam you into a reverse loan unless it will absolutely, positively benefit you. 720-500-7719. 720-500-7719. EmpowerReverse.com. Made in the Shade. Those are my window covering experts I absolutely love because of how they do business. It's a one-stop shop. They come, measure everything, and have a design consultant suggest window coverings for your space. Then that comes up with an estimate. If you like it, they'll try to work within your budget. Then they order everything and have their in-house team do the installation. Made in the Shade. That's what it is. DenverShades.co. DenverShades.co. 720-458-6566. Euro Plumbing means savings. Just remember that. EuroPlumbingColorado.net savings. Euro Plumbing savings on everything. Water heaters starting at $13.99 fully installed. You won't find them anywhere. The old one taken away. $14.99 for a 50-gallon tank. Do you want a garbage disposal? They can do that and probably save you 90% from what others are charging. Why don't you check them out? You won't believe the deals. EuroPlumbingColorado.net, 303-668-6844. How much time?
3.5.
Okay. Drink. I've been slamming these drinks.
No, I'm great. Thank you. I've been trying to drink so much water, New Year's resolution and all. I think it's the third time I've had to run pee.
10 seconds here, guys.
AGE. Clean nose, healthy life.
Address hair loss with the same simple one-day treatment I received. AdvancedHair.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. I often like to go over lessons we've learned on shows so people benefit from the show in addition to, of course, the caller. This one, though, is a problem that comes up all the time. When it comes to home repair, auto repair, accountants, doctors, any kind of professional. Here's the syndrome in general. You have someone do something for you. Something goes wrong with it, whether it's a product or service. Then they attempt to fix it. And they don't do it right, or they fix it and something else goes wrong. After 1, 2, or 3 cases of this, sometimes just 1, sometimes 4, people say, I have lost faith. I don't want to do business with them anymore. And then they attempt to get it fixed somewhere else, and they want the original person to pay for it. Now, in the law, everything works on reasonableness. They call it reasonableness. Was it reasonable to assume they could not do it? Were you treated unconscionably? In other words, where a common person would say, that's ridiculous. I don't blame you for going somewhere else. You would be shocked at how many times that's not the case. The law gives a lot of latitude to people who are willing to fix things and are willing to mitigate your damages. You'd be shocked. And so many times people thinking they're owed a lot more than they should be paid don't get it because the law does give latitude. Now, there's a certain point at which, and again, with all the common law out there, and we have an attorney with us today, Brent Keel. What's funny, Brent, with all the attorneys out there, all the common law out there, common law meaning previous court decisions, who can say what's reasonable and what's unconscionable? There is no law. There's nothing that says 3 attempts. I mean, except very specifically with lemon laws and certain things, you have actual number. But in most cases, it's up to the judge, isn't it? And the jury, or either one, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's your job, if you're defending someone or trying to sue someone, or defending for collection or whatever, to say they had every right to go somewhere else. I mean, it was unconscionable. It was unreasonable. Now, this guy, that leads us to this case. He had a 2016 Toyota Tacoma. He bought it from Groove in Colorado Springs. It had 120 miles on it, 120,000 miles, and it came with a 2-month warranty. The next day, he discovered an oil leak. They fixed it. They say they fixed it. Then, a week later, the car broke down. The engine seized, for lack of a better word, or it blew a rod. Why? Could have been oil starvation. Could have been he was running it hard. It could have been so many things. It could have been it's a lemon, whatever. He did not take it back to Groove. He said, I did not trust them because they said they fixed it and now the engine is seized. In my opinion, not a legal opinion, that was not unconscionable. They tried to fix an oil leak. His engine seized. He refuses to take it back. He takes it somewhere else, and he's buying a new engine. He wants them to pay for it, or a replacement engine. First and foremost, they wouldn't owe him a new one anyway. They would only owe him a replacement of similar make, model, value. So the guy expected us to help him fight Groove to get that repair paid for. Bottom line, that is, in my opinion, an unreasonable consumer. I don't know. How many times, though, have people I don't know, Brent, have you always been doing estate law?
I have. I'm a tax estate attorney, corporate stuff. Never.
So you never got in the bushes with people suing each other? No. But you probably had it in law school. How many times do people lose patience and therefore lose their case? In other words, by not allowing someone to mitigate or to correct, they sometimes seal their fate. And that's a principle. Now, there are times you don't want to give someone another bite at the apple, but they would have to be such a moron for you to do that. You have to have a good reason not to allow someone to attempt to make good on a warranty or a purchase before crying foul. And the age-old question in law has always been, what is reasonableness? And here's what's really weird. Depending on where you sue, reasonableness is different. There is more toleration, or tolerance, I should say, of certain behaviors in certain areas of the country. The same with medicine. Doc, malpractice. You know what they say about malpractice? It's beneath the standards of care, right? The standard of care.
Right, local standards of care, Tom. That's important.
Yeah. I mean, so let's say someone, and
Take a break when you
nowadays
can,
it's
buddy.
getting to be more unique, but if you had standards of care that were pretty low and the person was doing the best they can, then that lowers the bar a lot before you can call someone, say someone committed malpractice. Anyway, I just thought you'd like to learn that because that is really one of the problems we run into here on the show. We have more coming right up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Up on the north end of town, 104th eastbound is closed due to an accident investigation between Marion Street and Irma Drive. Otherwise, a fairly calm commute throughout the Denver metro. I-25 north and southbound, for the most part, showing highway speeds through town. North of downtown, I-25 southbound, watch out for some road work approaching 58th. I-70 east and westbound, flowing free to and from the DIA area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies. Another warm one out there today. High 63, overnight low of 32. Mostly sunny again tomorrow with a high of 62. The current temperature in Denver is 58 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan at 630 KHOW.
If you believe that politics is downstream of culture, then Red Pilled America is for you. Red Pilled America is the groundbreaking storytelling show that's shifting culture. Listen to Red Pilled America on any podcast platform. That's Red Pilled America. Join the revolution.
Hey, did you know that K&H Home Solutions is now offering beautiful bathroom makeovers? That's right. The oldest home improvement company in all of Colorado can redo the entire bathroom, or if you'd prefer, just a new shower, let's say, specializing in tub to shower conversions, exceptional remodels, full upfront transparent pricing. Call for your free estimate, 303-421-7100. Get the bath of your dreams, 303-421-7100 or khwindows.com. Red Rocks Roof and Solar told me a story the other day. They are selling people extra large solar systems in some cases to run their business and to generate enough to sell back to the grid. They actually have a client putting acres and acres of a solar farm in with subsidies and grants that will make them millions of dollars. Now, that's an exaggerated on the upper end, right? But there are people who are doing it medium and smaller systems. There are more than just tax credits available. Red Rocks, they've become the real experts when it comes to the grants and the tax credits to pay for your system, so you net out of pocket as little as possible. Why don't you check them out? Not only do they do superb solar systems, but they're experts at the financing end. 303-704-2449. 303-704-2449. RedRocksRS.com. Simply Floors, Inc. That is the website, and the Inc. stands for Incorporated, INC. If you go to simplyfloorsinc.com, you can make your own appointment to have one of their flooring experts come out to your house, make suggestions, help you order the right stuff or find the right stuff at various price points, whether it's your dream home or a rental or whatever. And they also have the best installation teams around, and they warranty their work, and of course the manufacturers warranty the floors, and you get great pricing. Simplyfloorsinc.com.
Sing it.
Bring it, baby.
Kelly's singing. Come on.
Come on, Kelly.
I was.
Come on, Kelly.
Yesterday was horrible. Today's just like nothing went well.
At least you have your singing voice back. You don't have to talk like this. You don't have to try and sing like this.
Oh man,
People
I'm
are strange.
I am
When
never
you're a
gonna live that down.
stranger, faces
I am
look
never
ugly.
gonna live
when
down.
you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted.
Streets when you're strange. Oh, stop. Oh my gosh. I am never going to live down that sickness.
That was fantastic.
The flu? Oh my God.
That week of Kelly was amazing.
Colorado couldn't be supported without your help. Don't miss out. Enter by Friday. It's the Dan Capla Show.
10 seconds here, Tom.
About whether Joe Biden has once again emboldened evil to attack America through his weak response to Iran. Join me at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So we're going to have an hour to take more calls. I have Brent Keel with us from Keel and Park talking estate law. We talked about how life insurance can be used for a number of different strategies. And now, you said you've done tax and estate law. Okay, so are there things that people need to do, or are estate taxes really for just the rich? I mean, truly, there's not that many. Or is that going to change? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, over the years that I've done this, it's been a low number where it affected lots and lots of people. It's right now a very high number. I mean, it's
14, 16 or something
million. Yeah, 12.9 and change per person, adjusting for inflation. Now it's scheduled to drop back in
to
another
6.
year or two. Yeah, it's 5, but it's adjusted for inflation, so it's going to be 6 or 7, somewhere there.
Will it stay there to go back up?
Well, we'll see what
normally happens.
Normally, they use it as something to argue about, the politicians.
And I don't mean to be controversial. I really mean this. Do Democrats normally want it smaller so they pay more tax, or higher, or Republicans like it smaller or higher? What usually happens?
Generally, the Republicans are pushing for it to be higher. The Democrats are pushing for it to be lower, at least in front of public.
I understand. Okay.
And it's because it's an easy thing to argue about. Only the wealthy get taxed,
Okay. In other words, once they die, they should pay a good share, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we have more coming up. Get your calls in. Any problems, questions, complaints, 303-713-8255.
You have to.
I think it's a red herring argument every time. They just want to argue about that because it's easy.
Yeah, and it makes Democrats sound lofty.
Yep.
And it makes Republicans sound greedy. Anything that can do that, they do. But behind closed doors, it's different.
They both want it to be higher.
Of course they do. They're families.
And it doesn't affect that many people right now. And it doesn't affect the natural, like the dollar amount to the country. What really matters is the tax rate. That's what moves the deal. So. not the estate tax rate, the income tax rate.
Hey, whoever's in there, can you ask Mark, like Martino's here, to come to KLA Control real quick?
Never sounded so good. ABC News, I'm Michelle. Americans and U.S. businesses getting a little breathing room. The Federal Reserve Board leaving interest rates unchanged for now. The Fed Board looking at jobs, growth, and inflation, and deciding there's no need for another rate hike. Interest rate charge banks remain the same, between 5.25% and 5.5%. The Fed chair saying that doesn't mean they plan to lower rates anytime soon, citing economic uncertainty, and that they haven't yet lowered inflation to their overall 2% target. ABC's Andy Field. A showdown shaping up between the House and Senate over immigration reform. House Speaker Mike Johnson criticizing the Senate bipartisan deal, saying it doesn't go far enough to slow the flow of migrants at the southern border. Senate Republicans, though, urging their House counterparts to back the measure instead of doing nothing. Talks continue on a temporary ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel that would also include the release of more hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza. This is ABC News. It's not a cigarette, it's not chewing tobacco, and it's not a vape pen. Zen, little nicotine patches from Sweden are now popular here in the U.S. Some doctors are concerned about marketing to children. The American Lung Association's Dr. Panaviscali Sacco says he's worried that the little nicotine pouches are too easy for kids to slip into their mouths. He's also concerned about the long-term effects of the nicotine-only delivery system that must be studied thoroughly.
These products in the hands of adults have one thing, but in the hands of the youth with their developing brain is another.
Zen is promoted heavily on social media by young people who have made a business out of being so-called Zenfluencers. ABC News. Your favorite songs may be missing from TikTok. Songs are disappearing from the app after the social media platform failed to reach a new licensing agreement with Universal Music Group. Universal controls 1/3 of the world's music, including songs by Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, and The Weeknd. Universal also took issue with what are described as safety issues on TikTok. I'm Michelle Franklin, ABC News. You pledged your life to serve, to make our country stronger, safer, more free, more equal.
More equal.
Made sacrifices. Missed first steps and birthdays. Lost loved ones. At VA, we don't see the setbacks endured. We see lessons applied and passion driving you upward and forward. We don't see all the masks you wear, but we hope you can set some aside. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your past, your fears, or your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see hope, a path forward, a future. We see all veterans. We see you, an opportunity to help you achieve a new mission, whatever that may be. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit maketheconnection.net. K-How News Time, 103.
An Amtrak worker suffered life-threatening injuries in Monday night's train derailment in Weld County. Officials say a semi-truck ran a stop sign at a railroad crossing. The worker from Park City, Utah, was airlifted to a hospital to be treated. Repair on the tracks continuing today as they work to resume service along the routes. Rock climbers in wilderness areas could soon see changes when it comes to fixed anchors. Climbers bolt the anchors into the rock wall to help prevent the fall. Draft guidance from two federal agencies would prohibit new permanent fixtures unless the climber gets permission. National Park Service spokesperson Cynthia Hernandez.
Under the proposed rules, climbers can still use existing fixed anchors. We're not trying to ban them. You would just need to go through the process to establish new fixed anchors.
The public comment period is closed, and now the Forest Service and National Park Service will consider those comments before making final guidance recommendations. There is no timeline on when that could happen. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Up on the north end of town, 104th eastbound is closed due to accident investigation between Mary Street and Paramount Drive. Otherwise, a fairly calm
selling his quote art to Democrat donors. And the White House lied about it. Plus, China had a genetic map of COVID before the pandemic. Now a verdict with Ted Cruz now to get all the details. Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All we ask for is prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Softball Meadow, Prostate Screen, Prostate Genetics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secret, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery. 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
We have our local feature right and done right. Home improvers. DRHI.com.
Inflation? Yeah, I still hate it. Inflation salvation. Save me with some cash. Oh my God. Keep listening every weekday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for your chance to win $1,000. Just listen to the hourly keyword and enter it at KHL.com. Sponsored by Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis. When you're in a wreck, call the attorneys I trust. Lerner & Rowe. The consultation is free and they don't charge you a penny until they settle your case. Call
Denver's talk station.
15 seconds here, Tom.
Nationwide keyword on our website. Check. That's check. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We are here to help you solve your problems, answer questions, take complaints. If you have a consumer problem, question, complaint, someone lied to you, ripped you off, cheated you, you need help, give us a call. We recover millions of dollars for people in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. We also have special guests on from time to time to help you with problems or to answer important questions. Today we have Brent Keel with us from Keel & Park. They're estate planning attorneys. And I welcome him here, and we do have some questions for him. By the way, waterpros.net will get you the best water systems at the lowest prices. You know, a whole house filter is around $1,200 or $1,300 for the whole house. That'll get out all the forever chemicals. Think about that. You compare that to thousands from other plumbers. Waterpros.net, the best for your water treatment, conditioning, and purification. Whatever you need, the lowest prices, best quality. 303-862-5554. So when it comes to estate planning, we've been talking about a number of issues. And by the way, our calls are not limited to estate planning. Anything that you'd like to call about, you can at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. But there is a notion that I hear sometimes scaring people, and I want to break it down. And they talk about, especially when it comes to getting rid of timeshare condos, they talk about passing on debt to your loved ones. You can't really pass debt on to your loved ones. Can you, Brent?
The debt doesn't pass on to your loved ones, but if you have debt on your property, like you haven't paid off your house, you haven't paid off a car, that asset passes on to the loved ones subject to that debt.
So they get the net asset.
Yes, exactly.
But you're not strapping them. Literally, they could walk away. If the house was upside down, they don't have to take the house, do they?
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. And they don't have to pay off the unpaid debt that there were not assets.
Or a car that's upside down or any negative equity.
Correct.
So what about a timeshare condo? Let's talk about that, because a timeshare condo, here's the only way I can see it affecting an estate, if possible, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but The only way, they make it sound like you got this debt and you got to pay this maintenance fee, and if you don't pay it, you're going to strap your kids with it, and if you don't get rid of it. And the only thing I see is this. If you were defaulted on your maintenance fees or any part of a timeshare condo and you die, isn't that a legit debt of the estate?
If they have a claim, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's
against the estate, so
if it's
yeah.
legal in any other way, it doesn't go to the loved ones. And the loved ones do not have to take over that condo. But what happens to the unpaid portion of anything? Have you ever seen timeshare people put liens on estates?
I haven't personally. I haven't seen that.
But worst case scenario, there's a little bit of truth. They could put a claim against the estate, right?
Well, they can file a claim against the estate, and if it's a valid claim and a valid debt that's owed, then that needs to be paid by the estate before it can be distributed out to beneficiaries. I mean, that's always the case of how that works.
Right. So when you are liquidating an estate or taking out carrots for yourself, you can't take anything subject to. You have to pay debt first. You have to make a good faith effort.
Correct. And if you don't, let's say you're the personal representative of an estate, and you don't pay a valid debt of the estate, but then you distribute the assets out to yourself, they can come back and pursue that from you at that point.
But only up to the amount you took.
Correct.
They can't go into your personal stuff.
Correct.
All right. Well, that's a good point. So basically, you should pay legit claims against the estate. But how do you know of any, and how long do they have to make a claim? Do you have to go out and seek them, or what is the fiduciary responsibility, if that's a good term for it, or the legal responsibility?
You know, through the probate system, they actually have some rules in place, and it's kind of funny because they're a bit archaic.
About newspapers,
Newspapers, right? Yeah. Who reads the newspaper anymore, right?
So you have to go to the local publication.
That gives you protection that you wouldn't have otherwise. If you go to the local publication, if you know of a debt, then you've got to pay it. I mean, you can't just pretend ignorance and you don't know of a debt. But you don't know of a debt, and you publish. If you take the step to publish that, put it in the newspaper for the required time. And I have to look at the statute on the required time, but then somebody that you truly don't know of, a valid debt that comes out of the woodwork a year later, you don't have to pay that at that point. Like you've published.
If you follow the law, you don't have to. What if? But if a debt does come, you do have to pay it.
Yeah, if there's a valid debt.
But how long after you publish? Is there a certain amount of time they have to make a claim?
There is, and I don't remember the statutory.
But what if I
60,
know?
90
What
days.
if I know my mom owed something, and I don't like the bill? Hold on, and I say I'm going to put the ad in the Denver Post because no one's going to read it anyway. Did I get away with it?
Did you just say that you knew?
Yeah, but who knows that I knew?
Well, and
see, that's what I'm getting at.
That's a hard thing to prove. If you know,
and I'm not saying you
how do they
recommend
prove
people
it?
lie about it.
Yeah.
Of course you're not. But if people do lie about it, how would anyone know? I didn't know about that debt. I put the notice in the paper, and really they knew about the debt.
Yeah, and that really goes back to all the other cases we talked about, right? That are
reasonable,
reasonable, and what does a judge believe? And you're
Right.
presenting evidence and contrary evidence. Those things are
So
up in the air.
here's how it works then. Probate is filed or not. I mean, do some people totally avoid probate?
Absolutely.
If you have an estate that totally avoids probate, is the estate subject to claim or not? If an estate is never opened?
They are still subject to the claims of creditors. I mean,
In what way if there's no probate opened?
Well, there's still an estate that's passing, right?
Okay.
Assuming their assets, whether it's a trust, the person still had debts to pay at the end of their life.
Okay, so if they have debts and everything they have is in a trust, how do these creditors get it?
It's the same way. I mean, they find out the person's passed, they send a bill, you become aware of it, and
do you still have to notify creditors even if there's no probate?
It's smart to do so, because you can still get some of the benefit if you notify and you take some of those steps. When you're administering a trust, if you're worried about something being out there, you want to cut off any sort of question, you can take that step and get that protection. It's there for you.
Okay, so the lesson is always disclose if you know.
Yeah. I mean, it is. And even the trust documents that we put out and, any qualified estate planner puts out in your normal trust, it gives the trustee that steps into your place after you pass and you're no longer the trustee direction. And then the direction is to, marshal the assets, figure out what the debts are, pay the obligations. I mean, those are obligations we all have. So it's
Okay, so do you ever represent creditors since you do estate law?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm not a creditor attorney. I don't,
No, I meant creditors specifically for going after estates, because who else would they use? Wouldn't they use estate-type people?
Estate litigators usually.
Yeah.
And I stay on the planning side.
Okay, so we have more coming up, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So there is something to passing on debt, but you can't pass on obligation. Okay, no one's going to be strapped with a timeshare. No one's going to be strapped with an old car or any upside-down asset. You can simply let it sit there. You don't have to take title, right? You don't have to take ownership. But if you don't take ownership of a car and more is owed on it than it's worth, that lender could put a claim against the estate. Isn't that right?
Yeah, they can. If there's an estate out there and there's...
I've always heard when it comes to going after estates, and I don't know if this is true or not, very few creditors really go after estates.
That's been my experience. I haven't had to deal with it much at all.
They usually write off the loss. I heard credit cards almost never go after an estate.
Yeah,
Car lenders don't go after estates unless someone has the car. Obviously, they take title. I mean, there's still a secured interest on that car.
And they still will, but you've got to understand, to go after the estate, it's got to be a big number to justify the cost and expense to go do this.
Exactly.
I mean, they're going to make a claim, and if they've made a claim, it's a valid claim, you've got to pay it. And I advise my clients to pay debts. I mean, I do. If there's a debt,
or settle them.
Yeah, or settle them. And if it's contested and there's a good argument for the contest, yeah, you can discuss that and settle it. And I mean, we talked about life insurance before. I mean, sometimes it's when there's life insurance outside of the estate, there's money to settle. They don't have to use it, but if they want the asset, let's say they want the car, they want something,
settle
you
it.
can negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
And having it in a trust and having those different things, different situations, puts you in a pretty good negotiating position because you've got flexibility. You have some obligations, 100%, but you've also got, the flexibility where money's not in the estate. And
when are laws going to change to where they're going to require real notice, maybe a website or something, as opposed to the stupid newspaper? Seriously, when are these statutes going? I mean, really, what do they even say? Do they say a particular newspaper, or what do they say?
It's more vague than that. Even it's like the prominent newspaper in your area, and I'd have to pull the statute up to look.
But that's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's very archaic. I mean, 50 years ago, yeah.
But they haven't changed.
They haven't.
And those are state laws, right?
Those are state laws, and every state has their own version, but they're all pretty much the same. And I guess it would take a group of creditors to go to the legislature and say, hey, this is a problem, we need to change it, it's just not functional and practical anymore. And I'm unaware of that being a big cry from the creditors.
Because actually they probably like not the creditors, but the people probably like the idea that hardly anyone will read it.
Well, to some degree, yeah. And even if you did have a website, Tom, how many people are going to go constantly check that website? I mean,
well, do creditors check local papers? Do they have people that do it? I heard that
I imagine some do, some organized ones. But you think of your small mom and pop shop; they've sold something, and there's a little debt.
I know.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen as a practical matter. It worked a lot better in small communities where everybody knew everybody, and somebody,
right.
But in Denver, for example, that's not going to happen, and so it's archaic. There has to be something there, though, or otherwise, the beneficiary who receives this, who doesn't know who the creditors were, and if there wasn't some way to cut that off, they could go years and all of a sudden be surprised with this creditor out of nowhere. The assets are kind of gone. They need to cut it off somehow.
Take a break when you can, Tom.
All right, I got to take a break. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis here. In a wreck, need a check? The attorney you call does make a difference. And I know and trust my friends.
I got about 15 seconds here, Tom, and you've got Joe on the line for his spot coming up.
All is free, the consultation is free, and the advice is free. And Lerner and Rowe doesn't charge you a penny until they settle your case. If you're hurt in a wreck and need a check, make one call, that's all. Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Call Lerner and Rowe. Those guys are great. Call 303-333-8888.
You know, I often recommend Joseph Chiano, certified financial planner, to talk to about creating income for life, putting away an investment account that guarantees no losses at all, guaranteed returns, guaranteed income. But there's something else I need to talk to Joe about. He not only helps you establish these things, but he actually educates you. In fact, I think he educates other financial planners, if I'm not mistaken. Joe, education is a big part of what you do.
Oh, that's right, Tom. You know, it's really important to be fully educated financially. And you're right. We do teach other financial planners. We teach insurance people. You know, we have a school that is actually, you know, with the state of Colorado, the insurance department. And we're actually can actually give financial planners and insurance people their credits for continuing education by attending classes that we teach throughout the year. So we believe in education, and I believe that consumers are lacking financial education. You know, they don't know, most people that I talk to do not know that they have options besides the stock market to put their money, make it grow, not lose it, and have a guaranteed income for the rest of their lives. And this is what we do when people have a 401k or an IRA or a brokerage account, that they just want to move their money away from the risk of the market into safety, but still make it grow and have a guaranteed income that will sustain them.
And I want to tell people how they can find out more and get a personal audience with you. Just give them a call, 303-779-6600. Get your education. Find out what you should be doing, how you should be doing it. He will talk to you without a high-pressure sale, truly. He gives me all kinds of information. 303-779-6600, mymoneymyway.com. John Fuller will give you an education, too, when it comes to your rights, when it comes to personal injury. If you're injured, call him right up front. You'll notice the difference. He won't try to take the case if he doesn't think he can do any good. Sometimes you just need advice. But then you have someone available if you need him. There's no obligation. You call him. He will go over what he believes you should do to preserve your rights. John Fuller. If you decide it's a good fit and you hire him, he will only take the number of cases that he can work personally, and each client gets his cell phone number that they can call or text at any time. As I said, notice the difference, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500, myaccidentlawyer.co. Red Rocks Roof and Solar are doing incredible things in the solar business. They have a guaranteed activation date, which says if they're not up and ready when they say they will be for you, they start paying you for the energy your solar system should have produced. They are doing systems now on purpose a little bigger so they can sell power, so the consumers can sell power back to the grid and make some money. And they know how to get this financed, not just with tax credits, but with low interest loans and also grants. Check them out, redrocksrs.com, 303-704-2449. Euro Plumbing Colorado means bargains. I want you to remember that. Euro Plumbing, plumbing bargains. Euro Plumbing, plumbing bargains, and I mean that. If you want to save money, I want you to go to Euro Plumbing for anything plumbing, especially water heaters starting at just $13.99. That's for sure, really. And that's a good one. An A.O. Smith or Rheem. So check them out. Any Plumbing. They do complete repiping too at the best prices ever. EuroPlumbingColorado.net, 303-668-6844. I'm going to be taking somebody from here a call, and it will be someone I've cleared it with, and he knows and everything. Did you hear me?
All right, 10 seconds here, Tom.
Wealth, K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted
Thank you for
local
calling Trenner
fiduciary
Law Firm.
advisors.
Press 1 if you are a
TrajanWealth.com.
patent or trademark examiner.
Denver's talk station, 630 K-How.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Bill has a question about timeshare from, I guess he's asking Brent Keel from Keelan Park. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, help me clarify on this timeshare. If a parent dies, they have a timeshare. It's an undivided interest in an asset. It's deeded. It comes in. It goes into the estate, and it has obligations, just like it would have a property tax obligation if it was a house. And so, how do you get rid of that?
Okay, now you heard
Don't
us
you have
say...
to sell that undivided
We'll talk
interest?
about this. You heard us talk about, first and foremost, you're not a signer on the debt, nor did you ever agree to it. So you are never going to have to take it over as an heir or as the personal representative. However, any bills or debts that accrued against that property and therefore that person who died will become bills and obligations of the estate. We never said they would not be. But what you would not have to do, if the bills were insurmountable and the risk was losing the asset, you can choose to lose the asset, whether it be a car or a house. You want to continue, Brent, and do the legal part here.
Yeah, and with that, let's say, if you take the timeshare, you take that interest and you want it to be part of the estate, when you do that, you're taking on those continual maintenance obligations, all those things.
From there on.
Yeah. But let's say you...
Okay, so you make that decision at a point in time, and if you say, here's the asset back, see you later.
Yeah.
But even if you want to give the asset back, if it has accrued bills, they may put a claim in for that debt.
Yeah, if the decedent owed them money that they hadn't paid yet, that had accrued, that could be a claim against the estate, even if you give the asset back, because that's, maintenance that had already done.
All right.
Done and taken care
Thanks for clearing that up for me. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Bill. And what about then the same with a house? Let's say you're upside down in a house or near upside down, and you say, we're not taking the house. It goes back to the lender as you can do a deed in lieu, but what if you don't? They can actually still foreclose against the estate and have a deficiency, can't they, if they wanted to?
They could, yes.
I mean, because if somebody took out an equity loan and just spent a lot of money, a lender might get quite pissed thinking, wait a minute, this guy just took out a loan and we don't want the house back, or we do, but we're still upside down $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they can foreclose against the estate, and the estate...
So they would foreclose that on that house, take the house back, and then have the claim for the deficiency
against the estate. So that deficiency would have to be paid, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So yes, you can have debt.
And that would be paid out of the estate's assets. If the estates didn't have the assets to pay it.
Right. Then the people will not have to.
The people handling it, the personal representative doesn't have to do it.
And that's a good point. So let's say net, there's some cash and liquid, $200,000. And there's some bills on deficiencies and other things that are $300,000. What do you do in a case like that if you're a personal representative? You've already resigned yourself to the fact you're not going to get any money, but how do you get out without obligation?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you go through the probate process. You work with each one to pay a share, whatever you can to each one. But once that's gone, you've used all of the assets of the estate to pay the debt. They don't get to come to you for that deficiency. Now, let's change this. Okay, then this is where people have problems when they're a personal representative. They get cute with it and they say, oh, well, we're going to distribute it to me and not pay the debt. Then they can go after the personal representative. They've taken those assets out of the estate.
Right.
But, as the personal representative, let's say you're filing a probate, you're going through that process, you've marshaled the assets, the court knows what the assets are, they know, and they approve these payments in that probate process.
Okay, so here's the point, folks. Debts can be levied against the estate. You got to be aware of them. You can't avoid them if you know about them, or it could come back to haunt you. And that's something that people need to know. 303-713-TALK. Now, what does Steve want here? Steve, go ahead. What's going on with you, Steve?
Hey, Tom. My door was knocked on this morning. Some people were inspecting the sewer line in the alley, and they told me that I had a break right at the tap where my line taps into the main line, and that I need to replace that within
Now, wait a minute.
30
Was
days.
this someone from the sewer district?
Somebody, I guess a contractor working for the city.
Okay, make sure of that, because this could just be a come-on, a sales gimmick.
Well, they just gave me a list of, approved people within the city.
Oh, okay.
So they weren't.
So what did they say was actually broken, though? That's what's really important.
And I saw it. It's the clay pipe connection, and it was broken right where my line connects to the main line, I guess.
Okay.
It was offset a little bit, and they said.
What did they say something like that costs?
I don't know. That's one of my questions to you, because there's a lot of plumbing companies out there, but not everybody does that kind of excavation.
Yeah, so are you looking for someone dependable? Because we have a lot of people that can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, some recommendations as far as...
Okay. I'll tell you, I'll give you three right off the bat. Plumline has its own drain division, and they have, they're really good at it. Fix It 24/7. So it's plumlineservices.com or fixmyhome.com. And then forgive me, but Master Rooter, it's the only company with Rooter in the name we like. So please be careful. It's not any of these other Rooter companies, but Master Rooter on a referral list. And I don't remember his number or his website, but his name's Tony. You can go on there and check that out. So just be careful, okay? But those companies are great.
So one other company I think that was on your list that actually had excavation in part of their services, none of the others really did, was Dunn Plumbing.
Oh no, they're wonderful. I'm sorry. And also Quality First. Yes. In fact, you're right. But listen, just be careful. The question you ask is this: do you do your own excavation? Do you have your own drain division? Okay.
Drain division meaning
meaning they have their own employees that are there every day, because otherwise they just sub it out. You don't want that. That's why I say Plumline has its own division, Fix It has its own division, a Master Rooter does its own. I believe Dunn. I'm not sure they do, but they're reputable enough to tell you if they do, and so is Quality First Plumbing. So check with them.
Okay, at least the first three have their own divisions doing this specialty.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
great.
and the others might too. Again, I hate to not have you check with them, but yeah, do that. Just check around. You'll get a feel for who you want. 303-713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's.
Starting on the north end of town, 104th eastbound is closed between Marion Street and Irma Drive due to an accident investigation. Otherwise, a pretty calm drive throughout the Denver Metro for the early afternoon commute. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound, easy driving to and from the DIA area. South of DIA, I-225 north and southbound, no complaints through Aurora and the Tech Center. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, enjoying the warm weather while it lasts. Highs in the low 60s today, mostly sunny skies. Overnight low of 32, tomorrow high 62. The current temperature in Denver is 59 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
When you think Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal. Because with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink, Biggie hits every time. So grab a Wendy's Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Sheridan Auto Tech, that's who you can go to for dependable repairs and maintenance of your car, especially checking out used cars before you buy them. Yes, they do that. They can also do service even when it's under warranty. Now, they can't do the actual warranty work if it's covered by warranty, but they can do your normal maintenance and keep records for you. 303-455-7242, 455-7242, SheridanAutotech.com. Simply Floors Inc. will do your floor coverings, and they'll do them great. Now, not just the installation, but I'm talking about helping you select the right floors. Make your own appointment, simplyfloorsinc.com, or you can always give them a call and make an appointment. Go to 470 and Quebec, or you can go to 52nd and Ward, simplyfloorsinc.com. They have a wide selection, great consultants, and the best installers in the business. Simplyfloorsinc.com, the number 303-731-5380. Are you looking for stucco? Maybe you have some storm damage, have to replace the siding anyway. You want to pay a small upcharge and get stucco? Genesis Total Exteriors can do that. They can replace your siding with like siding or stucco. They can do any storm damage, put it all on one invoice, one point of contact with people I know and trust, and I've known them for years. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Call Mark and his team. You will love them. 303-679-8509.
Hi, that's Mark.
Hey, Mark, can I put you on hold until we come back?
Yeah, I'm in the car. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yeah. Do you mind holding on for a few minutes till we come back?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, hold on. Dragon?
Yo.
I got my guy on, but he's an attorney. He works with me, and so that's who's going to be on.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So you don't have to get all shook up.
Oh, I can if you want me
You
to.
little goddamn do-it-by-the-book person.
Yeah. How dare I?
Oh.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but
Let me see. I just heard from my guys. What do I have the first tomorrow? Let's see who's in tomorrow. Is tomorrow the first? Yeah. It is. Okay. Okay.
germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. Medications that can take time to help.
I told these guys at RP Center, I love these guys. I told them, please turn my
New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Trajan Wealth.
15 seconds.
Afternoons 4 to 6.
Wednesday at 4, we'll talk about whether Joe Biden has once again emboldened evil to attack America through his weak response to Iran. Join me at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino here. I want to bring up Mark Trenner, who's an attorney at law. Mark Trenner, I've known for many, many years. He does intellectual property, inventions, trademarks, intellectual property, basically. Mark, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tom.
Hey,
Thanks.
I got a quick question for you. The reason I have you on, I read where the estate of George Carlin is suing some artificial intelligence promotion where there's a stand-up act or a movie or a doc or something using George Carlin, but it's not really George Carlin, obviously. It's a special, but George Carlin is dead. Now, I was always told that your rights stop when you die. Yet I see Elvis Presley's estate, Michael Jackson's estate, and these various estates getting up in arms about intellectual property. What's the story on that?
Right, it's the likeness of that exists past death, and it passes to the heirs. So that's why the estate's suing, even so he's dead. So what happened in this case is they actually took. I've read a couple different articles on it. One said that they took a couple different of his previous acts and trained this AI to basically artificial intelligence to basically come up with their own act, which imitated him. But then another article I read said they didn't actually use AI; they used people to create that. So it also becomes a copyright issue if you're using somebody else's copyright material, which can extend beyond the life of the artist.
Okay, so really, when we talk about your rights end at death, that's really not true because your estate takes on, your state still has the intellectual rights on the music and on the pictures or the images.
Right, that's right. And in this case, it was his comedy work.
Okay, but if they come up, let's say they came up with new comedy, new routines, okay? Brand new jokes, but told in his style. As long as they did not use if they use his name, they violate, or if they use his likeness. What if they say, my AI generated this, and it might look like him, but it's not exactly like him?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a matter of degree. So what does the jury think? Do they think that they took it from him and modified it? Or do they think that it's a completely new creation? Kind of related to this, there was a case last year where the question the court looked at is whether you can get a copyright for AI-generated work even. And it's interesting because in this case, I don't know which one it actually is. It'll come out during the trial, but did AI generate this or did people generate it? Because if AI generates something, it's not subject to copyright.
Okay.
There has to be some human element. There has to be some human input on it.
Now, also, on that topic, there was some artwork produced, and I guess someone actually did the research, and what they found was in order to make this poster or this meme, a little section of it from each comes from all over the internet. In other words, it doesn't just make it up. It literally assembles pixels from around the internet, and they were able to show that a group of these pixels were in the exact shape and color as pixels on their website. Now, can you get that ridiculous to enforce your copyright?
Yeah, so you actually can enforce copyright. So an AI machine or whoever is behind that machine can infringe an artist's work, but the AI itself, whatever the AI develops, cannot be copyrighted. So
okay, no, I get it. I get it. So is this opening up a whole new frontier for lawsuits and legal actions?
It kind of is. I mean, we go through this like when the internet came about, there was a lot of, well, what's copyright and what's copyright on the internet and what's actually copying when you're on a computer versus on the internet. And so now we're kind of at the next frontier with the AI generated stuff. And so, yeah, that's why there was that case on it just last year. I think in general it tends to play out once it gets up to the court. The court kind of looks back and says, well, copyright is copyright. We're just applying it to new technology. And I think that's where we're at right now with it.
But once it's expired, like the old version of Mickey Mouse, they can they can take that image and make it in a pornography if they want to.
Yeah, so you can and you can't. So you can take that Steamboat Willie. That's the only thing that entered the public domain, the Steamboat Willie movie.
Right.
So, yeah, you can take that. But now you have to be careful that you don't infringe on Disney's trademarks. Because trademarks don't expire. Trademarks never expire. So the trademark for Disney and the trademark for Mickey Mouse and giving the impression that maybe you're associated with Disney, you need to be really careful if you go use that. So everybody got excited. Some of them got concerned, like, oh, Disney's going to lose all their copyright. Well, yes, technically to that one movie, but they still have so many other rights.
Wait, so it was just the movie they lost copyright for, the movie itself?
Yeah, just that one, because it had gone past the deadline. I think it was last year in 2023. It had expired. So the copyright for that movie expired. Nothing else of Disney's or Mickey Mouse or any of that expired. Just that one movie.
So that movie.
You can take that movie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But when you say that movie, does that mean that version of Mickey Mouse is in public domain?
Right.
Okay.
So just that one movie, just that one version of Mickey Mouse. But you still have to be careful using Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse is a trademark.
All right.
Trademarks don't expire.
I got it. Okay, thank you very much. And we always love hearing from you, Mark. That's Mark Trenner, attorney at law for intellectual property. I love talking about that stuff, but that always, I often wondered about that. By the way, Frank Duran, the real estate man, will do a market valuation of your home for the asking, and he'll tell you what it will sell for, what you will gross, what you will net, and what you can buy. It's all free of charge. 303-920-1622.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
A couple closures on the north end of town and off Highway 104th Avenue eastbound remains closed due to an accident between Marion Street and Irma Drive. Police investigation in process. South of there, East 73rd Avenue closed for utility work, both east and westbound roads between Washington Street and Gilpin Way. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. The same can be said for I-70 east and westbound. It's an easy drive to and from the DIA area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies. Warm out there again today with highs in the low 60s. Overnight low of 33 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. High of 63. The current temperature in Denver is 61 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan at 630 KHOW.
I'm Ben Ferguson. And I'm Ted Cruz. Hunter Biden made millions selling his, quote, art to Democrat donors.
And the White House lied about it.
Plus, China had a genetic map of COVID before the pandemic.
Download Verdict with Ted Cruz now to get all the details.
K&H Home Solutions is now doing bathroom makeovers. You can depend on the oldest home improvement company in Colorado to have the best of service and products. They can do a new custom shower. They can convert from that old bath to a shower or do your whole bathroom, your choice. 303-421-7100, 421-7100, khwindows.com. You know, RKC Automotive, Ramondo and his team, great people. Go to Facebook and look at them. RKC Automotive in Denver. They're on West Evans, west of Tejon. And if you Google it, what you see is a house, but really the shop is right next to his house. And you know what he does? He does complete automotive repair and maintenance, including electrical, new and old cars, and foreign and domestic cars. And here's the deal. He never lets a car leave without a complete courtesy inspection after his repair. That's of the whole car, and that's free and a courtesy just to make sure you're never caught stranded. 720-749-3965. Empower Reverse Mortgage will be at our summit for security and freedom in retirement, and that will be February 8th. They will be there to talk about reverse loans. If you want to talk about a reverse loan, you can depend on Empower Reverse Mortgage to give you the truth. Give them a call with your questions, 720-500-7719, 720-500-7719, empowerreverse.com. I use artificial intelligence to answer questions on the show. And when it first came out, I was pissed off at it.
And what did you call it? It was a death certificate?
If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety affecting your life and family, the Raleigh House is here for you.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, hang on for me.
Raleigh House provides a premium level of care for substance use and mental health disorders. We believe recovery is possible. The Raleigh House can help. Call 720-797-8717 to get the help you need. That's the Raleigh House. 720-797-8717.
The holidays put an extra strain on your electrical system, so get an inspection now for just $21 from Plumline Electrical. You can trust Plumline to fix flickering lights, outlets, switches, and even complete panels. They can add new outlets with USB. Get rid of extra cords and chargers. Schedule online. PlumlineServices.com. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. Service at home. Servants at heart. PlumlineServices.com. Okay, Dad, hear this. Folks, we are for a very short time offering bank financing or a significant cash discount on all services. Just like installers. With so many style, color, design, and material options available, you'll be really excited to start the solution to your kitchen, bath, or basement dilemma now. Contact us for details. That's really exciting, Todd. For nearly 40 years now, kitchens, bathrooms, counters, and floors, finished basements, and windows and doors. Done right. We have all those official right done right. Go to drhi.com or 303-722-2295 or 800-362-837.
At one of the most famous restaurants in the world, there's a table in the corner. That's the hottest reservation on the planet. Save for the restaurant's owner and her hand-picked personal guests, Ruthie Rogers and her River Cafe Table 4. That's where the most incredible conversations on the planet are happening every week, captured in her Business Special podcast with guests like
Oh, shit.
What?
Leland here?
Who cares? 10 seconds there, Tom.
Is Colorado running away from the only alternative energy source that's actually clean while shutting down our access to fossil fuels? We'll talk about it. 630 K-How, Denver's Talk Station.
Hi. Let's go right to Ann. I'm Tom Martino. A question for Brent Keelan Park, which is, by the way, lawkp.com. Ann, what is your question?
Hi there. I have I'm on an account with my father. I pay his bills and everything. He's 97 years old, and we share a checking account. My question is, I'm his power of attorney on his account, but I've also heard of a POD, payable on death certificate. So does one take over for the other if he...
When do you need, let's just ask the question, when do you need a payable on death certificate?
A payable on death certificate is very useful when you're trying to avoid probate. You know, if he wants the property to go just to you, not a bunch of different beneficiaries, he puts you on there just like a beneficiary designation, like on a retirement account. It transfers.
So it doesn't even go to the estate.
Yeah, it's outside of the estate.
So with a POD, do you get out of the debt of the estate? Can you get nailed for that?
With the POD, they're supposed to marshal the assets of the estate. It's an interesting one because it's not quite like the life insurance that's can be passed completely outside of it, because that is an asset of the estate.
So if there's a payable on death certificate for $100,000 account and you know the estate owes $25,000, you really should make a good faith effort to pay it?
It like I said, it's a much more interesting.
Well, actually, though, that payable on death certificate we're assuming is for the personal representative. Well, what if it isn't?
If it's not the personal representative, that's where it becomes much more difficult.
Yeah,
right?
if it's just a normal person and that person says, you're not taking my money.
Yeah, that becomes a much more difficult scenario.
I would say it probably wouldn't be pursued, but maybe it would be.
Yeah, it'd have to depend on those facts and circumstances. And that's why most creditors aren't just going to have unsecured debt sitting out there.
So here's the short answer, right? And a payable on death certificate pays on death outside of probate. The power of attorney goes through probate, right?
Yeah, well, the power of attorney, that ends. That's just your power to act for him while he's alive. That ends once he passes, and then it passes however he's designated, payable on death, or if it goes through the estate. They're two different things.
Lawkp.com, 970-430-4231. And remember, folks, 303 Martino, 24/7. Save all your problems for me. Follow. Thank you, bro.
Clear.